And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brown Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, we already have protesters at the inauguration. They're mad, they're triggered, they're butthurt. Maybe they think if they go out there that Trump will not become the president. Good luck with that. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, TikTok might be banned. I doubt it. But I tell you what, a lot of the TikTokians, a lot of the TikTokers, oh, they're mad. They're upset and they're afraid. They're so afraid that they're willing to give all their data and everything else to an app that literally says, Zhong Hao Shu. This is Little Red Book, literally translated. Mao Zedong, Communist Party. Americans have become so uneducated, so desperate to get that quick fix of TikTok content that they don't care about communism anymore. Or maybe they didn't care from the beginning. Or maybe they're communists themselves. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Georgia State Senator Colton got into a little bit of a scuffle at the Capitol in Atlanta, and he wound up getting pushed to the ground and then going to the hospital. Yes, hospital. We'll talk about that and also hypocritical MS-13 DNC and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, we got a whole lot going on. There's so much going on. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate that. Rockvolution too early. Rockvolution says promote the Discord or re-protest. Sheree got it for you right there. Thank you, Sheree, for posting the link to the Discord. You guys want to communicate with each other when the show's not on? That would be a great place for you to go. Again, the Discord link is right there. Matter of fact, hey, I'm gonna put the Discord link in the chat. Can I put it in the chat or is it changed? Y'all let me know. But either way, what I meant not the chat, I'll put it in the box, the description, so you could always see it. Does the link change? Is it going to be static? Y'all let me know. Let's not spam the chat. Z Highness, are you part of the 50 Cent army or whatever they got in China? Oh, I wanted to say this before we even get into it. Do you guys know that China employs around 2 million people to basically be online trolls? So, and for a little bit of context, Walmart has 1.6 million American employees, like 1.6 million people in the USA. That's what Walmart employs. China has at least 2 million people that they pay to be online trolls. So there's a video about China. It's negative about China or their social media. That army that they have will descend upon your comment section and leave comments that look like they're organic. They don't look like bots. It looks organic. And you're going to have other paid human beings to comment on that and to upvote it to make it look like this is a thing that people are really thinking about, but really it's just the work of the CCP's digital army. That's what's going on. So yeah, y'all got to really be, you know what? You know, part of the reason I blame this whole migration to the Chinese Communist Party app, I blame all that on just lack of education. A lot of young people and people in general don't know anything about anything. I'm talking about nothing. As I said before, I was on a panel, one of these online Zoom type panels, and this is during the election. I'm talking about the midterms. Everybody got a blank face. What's that? Nobody even knew what a midterm election was, and they're all my age. What's that? Midterms? I don't know what that is. What that mean? When you talk about communism and Mao Zedong, the Great Leap Forward, the millions that died, Tiananmen Square. What's that? I don't know what that means. What's that? I read somewhere that a lot of your top Ivy League students who are coming in over the past few years, they can't read books. Maybe they're literate, but they can't read books. They can't sit down and read a book. I wanted to be the biggest nerd in my hood. Listen, I wanted to be the biggest nerd in my hood. Hey, I know NFL football is on. If you like football, you want to watch the sports ball, the rigged, ridiculous nonsense, go ahead. But anyway, I wanted to be the biggest nerd in my hood. So my mom told me a story about when I was, I say, 7 years old. I went to a friend of mine's birthday party in my community in Portsmouth. At the time, I was living in Portsmouth, Virginia. And mom told me that I asked her, could I bring my book? I had one of these fiction books, Goosebumps or something. I like, hey, can I bring my book to the actual birthday party? Like, that's kind of what I'm into. I'm asking that at 7 years old. I go to the skating rink. I ain't doing no skating. I'm reading my books, clinging onto the railing with the book in my hand. I was that kind of kid. I wanted to be the biggest nerd in my hood. I don't know what kids got going on now. They can't even really read books. If you can't read books, can you read? Barely. This is why if I was to go to a Starbucks, they're not going to spell my name right. A-N-T-H-O-N-Y. How hard is that to and it's not some kind of random made up name. This is a very common name. One of the most common names in the country, Anthony. Real easy. Can't spell it. They're spelling it with no H. It's like, what are we doing here? One time I went into one of these spots and they had to write my name on the thing. And as I go to get the order, the dude looking at me like kind of like without confidence because he knew he spelled my name wrong. I'm like, what's going on here? Are we just not really putting an emphasis on reading? Or is it because of these gadgets right here? Is it because of these gadgets right here? Everybody's in their phone, so ain't nobody reading books anymore. These things behind me, it's like they're becoming the way of the dodo bird. Nobody reads those anymore. It's like whatever. See, look, y'all in the chat talking about Anthony, Tony. Tony, I never liked Tony as a nickname because I'm not like, do I look like I eat pizza for a living? Do I look like I'm in waste management? Do I look like James Gandolfini on a TV show? Is that what, do I look like one of those guys to you? Huh? So yeah, I never liked the name Tony. That was too Italian. Anthony, that's totally fine. When I was little, they would still call me Anthony. Yeah, little Anthony, that was my name. It was never, they called me Ant when I was like a teenager, but don't do that at 40 years old. A 40-year-old man talking about, yeah, my name is Ant. Hey, how are you? My name is Howard Johnson. Yeah, my name is Ant. We're not doing that. But anyway, yeah, a lot of people can't read. I encourage everybody to read. I always tell y'all, when we're talking about news stories, don't believe whatever you see on television or social media, and don't even believe me. I want y'all to read and get down to the bottom of it. I've shown you several times throughout my time being on YouTube where a headline, where the actual news story is buried. They buried the lead. The headline says one thing, but when you read the story, it says something else. If you just go off of the clickbait, the headline, the attention grabber, you're not going to get the full scope of the story. If you go off of what they tell you in the mainstream media and the way they tell you, you won't get the full story. So I always say, please, 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 let's learn how to read. That's what I would say. All right. Let me see. Debbie says, you look like an ABL, little not so sure. Yeah. When I was small, I was really small. Then I had a crazy growth spurt. It was out of this world. Tony, Anthony. Nah, Anthony Hardaway, Penny Hardaway played in the NBA. I'm sure there might have been an Anthony in the NFL as well. Somebody, grandmama or mama said, hey, that sounds nice. Name him Anthony. Or I can't spell Anthony, so I'm going to just say Anthony. Put that on the birth certificate. Like, All right. And the thing about my name was a conscious decision. My parents had a discussion. They wanted to name me Isaac. Mom vetoed that. She was like, no, we're not naming a little black boy Isaac. So they had a discussion. And then my dad is Jeffrey Bryan, RIP. So they gave me his middle and last name. And they gave me my great-grandfather's middle name. And what my uncle's middle name is Anthony. So that's how that came about. But the Isaac, I could have been Isaac right here. I don't know how that would have. IBL, that don't really have a ring to it that ABL has. That sounds like IBS. And I don't want to be associated with that. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want you to look at ABL Live or IBL and think irritable bowel syndrome. I don't want you to do that. I want you to think about me, and that's it. Nothing else. And the only reason why I went by my full name with the Brian is because when I Googled myself, when I first came on YouTube, I just said Anthony Logan, and there was this halfway naked Asian dude popping up all the time. I'm like, okay, well, I don't want you to search just Anthony Logan and some, funny looking shirt off dude is popping up, because that's not me. That's the only reason why I got the middle name in there. American Basketball League. Hey, you know what? I saw that there was some kind of basketball league that had my same initials. Like they play in the Philippines or something like this. I'm like, I don't know. Like, what's this? I don't know. But anyway. So yeah, shout out to y'all. Isaac was a bartender on Love Boat. Shout out to Love Boat. All right. Hold on. But we got a whole lot to get through. There's a whole lot going on. TikTok. Hey, listen, y'all TikTokians will be okay. TikTok ain't going nowhere. And I knew from the beginning it wasn't going to go nowhere. I knew that it was going to be like a way for them to negotiate terms ultimately, and it wasn't going to be a ban. But people, they are crashing out. They are upset. They're mad. I'm seeing some of these videos talking about, I don't care about giving my data to China. I will do anything for China. I'll become a Chinese citizen. I'll relinquish my U.S. citizenship. And some of these people, how they just talk online and just say anything. Okay, Trump is the president. I'm going to go to Canada. Why not Jamaica? You're a racist. They speak English there. But anyway, I'm going to go to Canada. I'm going to go to another European country with even more white people in it to show you how not racist I am, to support the orange man who's also white. Anyway, they say all that and then don't go anywhere. But these people, these TikTokians, they ready to go to Beijing, Shanghai, Ni Hao Ma, all that good stuff right now, because they're hooked on that TikTok. It's like heroin, and they got to have their fix. If they don't have their fix, man, they about to be sick on other apps, acting up, crashing out. And what I don't want to see from y'all is when I go out in public, any kind of crying, melting down. I don't want to see that. If I see you behaving erratically in the corner, clutching your phone, trying to make TikTok load, I'm calling the cops, man. I'm calling animal control. I'm calling the cops. I'm calling all that. I'm calling the local priest to get that demon up out of you. But anyway, shout out to you guys. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the content so far, or in general. If you are, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. We got quite a bit to get through, so I'm going to go ahead and get cracking. Shout out to the sponsors as always. Y'all know how I do. You guys are the sponsors, first and foremost, for watching, retweeting, doing whatever you do. I can't do nothing without y'all. But also, shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will always be in the description, or just go to patriotpost.us in the browser. Tell them that ABL sent you. Also, go to my merch website, ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. Also, go to my regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website, and I write articles for each video that I produce. In each article, you'll have sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from Democratic, Republican, politically agnostic, local, national, international, whatever you want. I got it. As long as it's legal, it'll be right there on the website, anthonyblogan.com. And of course, go to the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. There you'll be able to find my email address, my snail mail address, my UPS box, of course, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok. Yes, I am on the Chinese app, and I'm 1,000,000 years old on there, but it's fine. All my links, all my method of communication, everything is right there on the contact page of the website. And as I always say, if you ever converse with someone who says they're me and they're offering you some kind of crazy thing that doesn't make any sense, some kind of crazy deal, they're trying to make you send them Apple iTunes gift cards. They're talking about Forex and Bitcoin, all of that. Listen, it's not me. Don't get scammed, and you will be scammed if you respond to those messages. Can I say something else while I'm right here? Every YouTube video will have the bots with the halfway dressed women or whatever, and y'all always respond to them. Not all you guys, but some of y'all love responding to the bots. Please don't respond to the bots. Even if you're just saying it's a bot, don't do it. Engagement is always positive. Listen, engagement is always a positive thing. Don't engage the bots because you're giving them positive reinforcement. It doesn't matter what you say. You could say, this is a bot, ABL, please ban it, bot. All you're doing is encouraging the behavior. So please stop doing that. Please stop doing that. Don't worry about it. I'll ban them when I see it, or YouTube will. If you guys engage with them, you're helping them. So please stop doing that. All righty. The bots make you thirsty. Hey, some of y'all be thirsty. And I think, what happens? What happens is some of y'all will see the bot and then respond, oh, you're a bot, with the hopes of the person not being the bot, and maybe you'd be able to connect with them that way. That's what happens. Listen, if it walks like a bot, it types like a bot, it looks like a bot, it behaves as a bot, it's a bot. And just leave it at that. All right. And it won't come to life and be your companion. I promise it won't. But I know the majority, 99.999% of you guys have a brain. You have sense. You're not going to do stuff like that. But sometimes some of y'all do. Some people do. And that'll be the person who gets their whole life savings taken away. Okay. That'll be the one who sells their whole house to some random dude in Nigeria, thinking that it's Brad Pitt, or somebody like this. And you know what? People sometimes that do stuff like that, these are the NPCs. And if you have NPCs in your family, please look out for them. Please look out for them. Okay, because we got the Orange Man coming back, and I'm not really sure how well they're going to take it. They're already trying to protest. They're already crashing out. So if you have an NPC for a family member, please protect them. And you know what? Matter of fact, hold on. I got a video I wanted to play a little bit later, but I got to play it right now. I got to play this right now because this goes into the whole NPC thing. Now, this guy's name, his name is Nate Friedman. Nate Friedman on YouTube. He's doing street interviews out there in California. Now, I'm going to show you a prototypical NPC example. That's a great question, Bob K. MIT. NPC, that's an acronym for non-playable character in the video game. So if you got a video game on the screen, there's these people in the game. They're just kind of hanging around, doing whatever. That's an NPC. And the whole thing, the reason why we call them NPCs is because they're not actually really people that are fully developed. They're just kind of there. It's like a husk of a human with not much going on upstairs. That's kind of what they are in the video game as well. You walk up on them, you bump them, they're like, it's like, where's your human emotion? Where's your defense mechanism, your survival tactics, your brain power, your ability to create an original thought? Where's that at? You don't have it. NPC. And a lot of this NPC behavior comes from television, music, movies, social media, etc. All right. So you're about to see the biggest example of an NPC. Now, all right, let's cue it up. This is in LA after the wildfires or during the wildfires right now. And you have my man right here, Nick Friedman, the interviewer with the book bag going on the microphone, interviewing a young lady right there. Her hoodie says, "Go Sports." Go Sports. All right. So already you have an NPC shirt on. All right. It's like playing a video game, and then the guy in the game has on a shirt that says, "I love sports. I love football." Anyway, let's watch and hear from her, shall we?
Think about the government response to the fires. Like, what are your thoughts on it?
I mean, I don't have a cogent response right now because obviously I'm trying to decompress from work. I think all of us are just really overwhelmed with everything, and there's a lot of misinformation, and that's the biggest problem.
And what is that misinformation? Because you're actually on the ground, so.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of misinformation about what water availability was, and I'm thinking more of on the federal level of how our national leaders have been responding, and that misinformation rather than probably local information.
Yeah. Like the stuff about the fire hydrants not having water and stuff?
Yeah.
That's not true.
Yeah, and the source of the fires, basically saying that the firefighters that they don't have what they need, and maybe they don't have exactly what they need, but,
Do you think that California is going to shift closer to the right after this, or no?
God, I don't know. I mean, I've been impressed with his response. I think he's been he's very eloquent.
So when she says he and his, she's referring to Gavin Newsom. So she likes Gavin Newsom's response. Now, here's my question. Can I put on my tinfoil hat? At this point, look, I don't wear hats on these videos. I'm wearing tinfoil hats. They're not baseball caps or anything. They're not trucker hats. They're not baseball hats. These are tinfoil hats that I wear because I'm going to always give my tinfoil hat point of view. But the way she referred to Gavin Newsom, he's doing a good job without saying his name. That kind of sounds like how people talk about Jesus, right? Am I off? Am I off? Am I reaching, or am I kind of onto something? Let's keep on going.
I think what he said in trying just to defend California is what we need in a leader. Obviously, a lot of things that actually impact response is on the local level. And I need to get more educated on that. I think I'm just really overwhelmed personally.
Yeah. I know Newsom is putting in $50 million to sort of fight Trump on his policies. Do you think that's a good idea to sort of fight back?
Yes, I think so for sure. I mean, he's targeted California for a million things. So I think so.
Thank you.
So while California.
All right. So, I mean, how you feel about the NPC? And you know what? This is there's been quite a few, there's quite a few interviews in this. Good ones right here. A liberal guy for Trump, really good interviews. But what I noticed from his entire thing, this 28-minute video, is that the men that he interviewed, for the most part, were on point. And let's try to get this fixed over here. The men he interviewed, for the most part, were on point. The women, however, they were sounding just like that, for the most part. There was one lady in the beginning, she had her mind right. But a lot of the liberal women out there, they don't know anything. I mean, they might as well just say Orange Man bad as an answer to every question. How you feel about the response from Gavin Newsom, Karen Bass, LAFD, LAPD? Misinformation, Orange Man bad, climate change. They might as well just say that because that's basically all they had to say. They didn't really have a lot of words to use to express themselves when it came to this particular thing. But they kept saying the same old thing over and over. So they got a high volume of words spoken, but not much depth in the volume, if that makes any sense. Yeah, they're watching The View. Listen, and see, this is part of the reason why I talk about The View and Joy Reid, all these people, because there are human beings who sit and watch that 24/7. So maybe, just maybe, if YouTube is so gracious, if the odds are in my favor, someone who watches that video may come across my video, and maybe it might do something to them. Maybe it might kind of sink in their little pea brain that what they're watching is not the correct thing to watch. Also, as I said many times before, they prey on your ignorance when you are watching them. They know that people who watch The View don't know anything. So they tell them anything and they believe it. And then when they go do something different, like when you saw Joy Behar doing the Trump dance, they're confused. Orange man bad. What happened? Then they begin to malfunction. And then they go right back to the NPC. They go right back to the NPC nature. What do I do next? Give me the next input on how to behave. How do I respond to this dance? If they don't know how to respond, they often react with violence or some kind of negativity. That's kind of how that goes. You want to debate with them and they get stuck. All of a sudden they want to get violent, or they might want to do ad hom, or they might want to walk away. They're all the same. That's also why they're NPCs, because they have predictable behavior. All right, let me go back to the front here. Now, in New York, you got NPCs, but they're also, you have NPCs in a place like New York, but some of them are the ones working on the city's infrastructure and stuff like this. So what they did was, to prevent turnstile hoppers in the subway, they put these little spiky gates on top of the actual thing. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about right quick, and y'all let me know if this would stop you from hopping the turnstile or not. So you see these little spiky things up here that is in a little passageway to get to the turnstile? Like, those little spiky things were installed to prevent people from being able to launch their body up over the turnstile, using on top of that to brace their hand with, you see. But as you can see, it's nothing. My guy right here in the book bag and the olive jacket, check him out. It's nothing. See, look, it's easy. He had one hand not even on a little spiky strip, and the other hand right on it, and it didn't do a thing. So it's like, what are we doing, New York City?
New York
And here's a up close view of it.
City is trying again to stop
So look, you can see it right there.
Vader. New York
That ain't gonna do nothing. It's like supposed to be spiky, but when you zoom in on it, it's just like kind of like a little hill type of thing. Like, that ain't gonna hurt me at all. That's not gonna hurt me at all. I can get over that like it's nothing. Even at my age right now, I can hop over that easy. I'm tall enough to just walk over it. But if I wanted to hop it, I could do that with no problem. I could just run and jump without even using that. I could jump sideways. I could just walk over it. Or if I wanted just to hop it like that, it won't be no problem.
New York City is trying again to stop fare evaders. They just added these pointy panels onto.
Look at that, pointy. Barely. That ain't gonna cut my hands. Really, for real, I could put my fingers in between these little things right here, and all you're gonna do is give me like a little guide to use.
The gate. And the idea is that it's supposed to hurt the people that try to jump over. But I think they forgot to address that you can still slip through the middle or just crawl under.
If you go like, you can just go like that, and you can go under.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
New York City is
So, hey, New York City, I guess the whole thing is to get the fare beaters, because they're talking about billions of dollars that they're losing because people beating the fare. But it's got to be a better way to do that. Why not just install like a door? But I guess that'd be a fire hazard. Make the door be something that, I don't know, you could go about it a different way than doing this right here. And if you weren't going to put a real door right there, then putting that right there is just a waste of money and time. Yeah, you can use a jacket over it. You could do anything. Or like I said, just use your hands, because it ain't really that serious. It ain't going to cut you. You know what? The thing about some of these policies, they don't really want to go all the way. They don't want to go all the way. Listen, if you're going to put a spike strip up there, put a real spike strip. I'm talking about some concertina wire. Make it hurt. So if I put my hand on top, I'm going to be bleeding and about to pass out in the subway. Do something like that if you're going to do it. Or put a guard in a tire. Hey, don't cross that gun line, boss. Do it that way. That little fake spiky thing ain't gonna do nothing but just be the butt of jokes. That's all. Some scissors on knife blades on those. Yeah. That's right, Jay Baloo. They probably spent millions on that. They probably spent millions. And of course, we're going to increase the taxes to pay for that unnecessary, ridiculous thing. That's right, Peg. No half measures. Let's go all the way. Go all the way. Give me that southern border razor wire right on top of the whole situation. That'll do it. That'll do it. All right, so we got Eric Adams speaking about New York City. Eric Adams went and spoke with the Orange Man.
See you here in Florida.
Always good to see you.
Can you tell me anything about the meeting? Did it go well?
Anytime you meet with incoming presidents go well. Tomorrow I'll be briefing everyone when I get back to the city.
Concourse AB.
Can I ask? I'm a congestion.
Hey, my man right here. Hold on. We got the Trump thumb. Yeah. Hey, Eric Adams looks like he's in a great mood. A great mood. Got the big smile. Hey, Eric, Mr. Adams. The only thing you're missing is a MAGA hat with the suit and the thumb. You could put Trump right next to you, MAGA hat on. You already got the thumbs up pose. You're pretty much here. And what I'm going to say to Eric Adams, Charlemagne the God, all these people in a celebrity space, elected official, whoever they are, notable black male figures especially. If you want to be conservative, just go out there and do it. If you want to be conservative, just do it. Don't worry about what anybody thinks. Don't worry about how anybody feels. Don't worry about nothing. Just do what feels right. If you want to still be liberal but support Trump on some things, then go ahead. It's okay. Don't be worrying about what anyone thinks. Don't do it. And especially right now, he's back in the White House. You're going to have a Republican White House, Senate, House, all of that. It's okay, man. Just come on out.
Can I ask? I'm a congestion pricing former transit reporter. Did you guys talk about congestion pricing?
Tomorrow I'll be briefing everyone when I get back.
Nice to see you here in
All righty. So shout out to Eric Adams. Let's see if he's going to go full MAGA or not. Okay. And then somebody else I saw that might kind of want to go down that road. Charlemagne. I ain't going to say the God part. We don't do that no more. We're going to say Charlemagne. Okay. Or we're going to say Leonard McKelvey from the Breakfast Club. Hey, and Charlemagne, if you can hear me very well, here's what I have to say to you. Isn't it time to let the Breakfast Club go? Isn't it time to let the Breakfast Club radio show go? Check it out. You, Charlemagne, can go and do whatever you want. Okay? Your friend is Andrew Schultz. He interviewed Trump on his other podcast. You could have been there. Your people on the Breakfast Club, what they got going on? Just hilarious. I mean, can't read, but is in charge of reading. DJ Envy about to get locked up, allegedly. Big Rocks, Little Rocks, because of that whole real estate kerfuffle with him and the Great Value Temu version, the Big Pun. Okay, scamming houses and things of this nature all across the country. So that whole train is pretty much about to be out of service. What are you going to do next? You already got the podcast. You already got things going. You're already being on TV. You're already being quoted by a lot of newspapers and whatnot. You got the ball in your court. Leave the Breakfast Club, lean into being conservative, and live your life like it's golden. That's what I would say to Charlemagne. All right. Now, let me just bring up the video in which I want to highlight to show you why I say what I'm saying right now. All right. Now, look, shout out to right-wing angel Oliver Mack. You see his headline. Charlemagne the God says he doesn't believe Donald Trump is a, quote, threat to democracy anymore. Okay, let's watch. And RIP in advance to the headphone users.
This part of the Al Smith dinner was when Trump was talking about Chuck Schumer. Do you guys remember this? So he's saying the Chuck Schumer jokes, but he's also going, I like Chuck. I actually gave Chuck his first check. And
you talking about Trump?
Yeah. You know, Chuck's a good guy. You know, he's a good guy. I like him. Chuck, you're a sweet guy. Yeah. That's the real energy.
Yeah.
That's what they talk like with each other went behind the closed doors. That's what they're doing at dinners. That's what they're doing on the phone. The fake energy is when Chuck is like, this guy's dangerous. He's a threat to democracy. He's a fascist. He's flirting with Hitler. That's the fake shit.
Yeah, but that's too much.
I'm agreeing.
Like, that rhetoric is too much.
I'm agreeing with you. And now I think what they have to realize is,
listen, I'm with you, Chris. I'm not going to sit here and act like I didn't call Donald Trump.
Changing my energy for what it's worth. Democrats, Chris Morrow's not changing his energy.
I'm with you. Listen,
if I'm the last one on this fucking
I never called Donald Trump a fascist based off anything I heard from Democrats. I said that because of things I heard come out of Donald Trump's mouth, right? But guess what? I don't even know if I believe it anymore. And you know,
talk that shit.
But only because of how they're acting. I'm like, well, goddamn, maybe it ain't that much of a threat.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
They lied to you.
And by the way, that don't change my vote. I would have still voted for the vice president. Right. But it's just
like... See, that right there disappoints me because you say all of that. You talk about how your party, the Democratic Party, the left, you sit here and acknowledge how much they gaslit you, they lied to you, they put forth a false narrative about this man. You sit there and say that, and then say, well, I still was going to vote for Kamala Harris. The same thing Stephen A. Smith does. It's frustrating because you guys are kind of hemming and hawing. It's like, man, come on, just go ahead and be what you want to be. That's that whole, I'm independent. I don't vote left or right, but you vote left every single time. Just come out of the closet and be who you really are. That's what I say. I ain't trying to call him LGBT. I'm talking about his political leanings. If you are a liberal, just say that. If you're conservative, just say that. If you want to vote left all the time, just say that. Because my question would be, all right, you're not believing that Trump is a fascist. You're not believing that he is a racist. You're not believing all these things that you were told. But you're still going to vote for the people that deceived you? You see, people like that, that's why slavery lasted for so long right there. Slavery lasted for a long time because of that. Okay, so Harriet Tubman had to come, Harriet Tubman had to come free slaves with a pistol. It's like, look, man, either you're going to be free or you're not going to live no more. So what's up? What you trying to do? It was like that because they'd rather be on the plantation. Charlamagne, prime example. Got your little comfy gig with iHeartRadio. You're able to go on the white man's TV. You're able to be in these events. You don't want to let that go. Even though they're treating you like garbage, they lying to you, they're doing all this stuff to you, you still want to stay there. Hey man, I don't know about y'all, but living a life of subservience, living a life where I'm like in an abusive relationship, that's not what I want. And I don't want that for any of y'all. So shout out to you guys for not doing what he's doing, just letting them tell him whatever. Telling him whatever, and then, I'm going to still vote for him. That's crazy. That's totally nuts. Hey, it's like 12 Years a Slave where he was trying to like rationalize. Well, it's not that bad under the circumstances. Like, I ain't going to be a slave. I'm not going to be deceived, lied to, gaslit, controlled, nothing. I'm 100% free man and I'm going to stay that way. Charlamagne, Stephen A. Smith, you guys can be free too. You got a bunch of money, sure, but you can be free, which is more important than those big bags of the white liberal plantation money. I'm just saying. Maybe I'm wrong. Now, speaking about people waking up, hey, you know what? You know what's funny, Charlamagne and Stephen A. Smith? You got white women like Anna from Young Turks speaking with more conviction than y'all. Straight up white liberal. Speaking with more conviction than y'all. Let's watch. This is her talking about Elon and X, now known as Twitter. Let me get the screen set up right and let's let it roll. Sound? All right, let's let it roll.
Look, the other thing I'll say is I actually think that one of the things that Musk did with X, and I will admit I was very skeptical going into it, but community notes ended up being fantastic. And in fact, the era of, censorship on social media really did lead to platforms like Facebook, for instance, throwing the baby out with the bathwater. So Facebook as a platform was great for independent news sources in order to get their message out, get their content out. And then because of the censorious era, Facebook deprioritized news entirely. And I thought that was a terrible way of responding to what was going on. I think the best way to fight misinformation is through more speech. And the way that it's been implemented on X is excellent. I think community notes is fantastic. So that's what Facebook wants to do. I think that's the right way to go about it.
There we go. So shout out to her, and shout out to Facebook for recognizing what's working over on Twitter, the community notes, people who are not invested one way or the other, giving out factual information. Because a lot of the fact checkers, you know, they probably getting money from the outside. You got a whole business. So their whole job is just to make sure that certain facts don't become well known. It don't become widespread. The so-called fact checkers that Facebook used to employ would be responsible for suppressing factual information if it didn't align with what the Democratic Party wanted. That's how that goes. Now, let's go to some of these protesters at the inauguration, because they're out. Okay. They love those Handmaid's Tales outfits. They love them. I feel like that's their fantasy, is to be that, because they've been wearing these for years. My question is, do you have any regular clothes? What do your regular clothes look like? Is it some kind of variation of this Handmaid's Tale stuff? So look, let me play the video. So the person is wearing a sign, and she has the black fist, apparently. Now look, am I tripping? What's going on here? Is her arm on backwards? What's up with this fist? I feel like it's going the wrong way. It's not, her fist it's not the right way. It's like, I don't know. Is it a prosthetic? What is this? Anyway, she has the Black Power fist, which she took from us, took that from us. And then her partner, her friend, her counterpart has a sign that says, "Alone, we can do so little. Together, we can do so much." Helen Keller. All right. Yeah, Halloween been over, right? Halloween been over. Okay. That's what I thought, but apparently not. All right. We got more of those. Let's see what's happening here.
Crashed out after the election and posted a bunch of stories calling Trump voters ugly and stupid. I repeated it a bunch of times, and they were specifically really offended about the ugly thing. So some of them DM'd me and were like, well, I voted for Trump, so now what? I'm not going to hold your hand while I say this. I know.
Okay. These TikTok videos, man. You know what? The thing about TikTok, they should have banned it, but they waited way too late. India banned TikTok in 2020, which is when we should have banned it. We should have banned it before the pandemic. Once we allowed TikTok to just be out here and flourish in the minds of these young people, now it's over with. And then they pay money on TikTok. You could build a business and make millions of dollars. So now it's too late. And now we have NPCs just like this all over the interwebs talking about, oh, you're ugly. If you're a Trump supporter, you're like 28 years old talking like this, like you're 12. But that's what these apps do to you. Infantilizing your mind in a society where infantilization is already the wave, the norm. All right. So yeah, shout out to her and your lip fillers. I appreciate you for your comments. All right. Now look at this guy talking about, hey, you know what? I don't think Trump's going to make it. He's not going to be able to get sworn in.
He is not going to be sworn in, and he will not be our next president. How I know that for certain comes from the knowledge of some information I found out last night that I didn't know. We all know that when Biden was sworn in, the one person not present at his inauguration was who? Donald Trump. He lacked the character to be there, to share in another man's joy, to have the character to say, I didn't win the election, you did. But here's a guy that's been given everything on a silver platter his whole life. He was born on third base and thought he hit a triple. And he couldn't be at Joe Biden's inauguration. So what I found out last night.
All right, bro, that's probably enough. That's enough out of you. So, yeah, this is not going to age very well. The inauguration is on Monday. So I don't know what you're going to do when it happens, when maybe this is wishful thinking, like how Biden was doing during his speech about the 28th Amendment. This is wishful thinking. Maybe you think, okay, somehow, some way, the orange man won't become the president. I got news for you, buddy. He's going to be the president. I don't know what you learned at Temple University, but if you spend a bunch of money on your degree, hopefully it's worked well for you, because the other part of your brain ain't really going right.
Yeah.
All right, let me keep on rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Oh, something else I saw. Yeah, I got him up on Tuesday, Michael. I gotta talk to Mr. Temple on Tuesday and get a little follow-up. But also, the inauguration is going to be on MLK Jr. Day. And some people don't like that. They think that the inauguration just happened to be scheduled on MLK Day out of spite or something crazy like this, right? That's what they think. Again, we're dealing with people that don't know anything. What's 1 + 1? What that mean? I don't know what that means. Is it on TikTok? Can I look it up on TikTok? Hey, have you read any books in your life ever? In college? No? You don't know anything. So let's hear from her. And we got a guy responding to it. And he responded perfectly. Check it out.
So you telling me Trump's inauguration is on the day of Martin Luther King Jr. Day?
No. Martin Luther King Jr. Day is on Trump's inauguration day. I fixed it for you. If you knew how to read a book or look up something, or, do a little research, you would be able to understand what day inauguration day always is on. Pretty consistent. Martin Luther King Day, not consistent.
Am I on the wrong side of TikTok? Because I ain't seen nobody talk about this.
I wish I didn't see you talk about it. The uninformed amongst us. What app are y'all going to, so I can go to the opposite?
Like what? Why? How? This is not a coinky dink.
See, this is a problem. People like this have no idea about historical or anything in this country that has any value. They just want to complain. Be victims, professional victims. But Martin Luther King Day and Trump's inauguration day being on the same day is creme brulee, icing on the cake. Let's get at him.
There we go. So shout out to my man. Very well said. Hey, sir, if you hear the sound of my voice, that was very well done. Perfect. But he said the same thing I always say. People don't know anything. They're undereducated. Way undereducated.
I just keep thinking about how the economic crash from the TikTok ban is going to happen under a Donald Trump presidency. People are going to be losing their jobs. Small businesses are going to be forced to close. Big businesses are going to lose access to an audience that they didn't previously have access to. And all of that is going to happen under Donald Trump. The same Donald Trump where 90 plus CEOs and corporate executives came out and said, please, for the love of fucking God, do not elect this man. I would rather pay more in taxes than ever have to deal with his dog economy. The same Donald Trump where more than half the living recipients for the Nobel Prize for Economics came out and said, this man's plan is so fucking we actually can't find one single thing that's good with it. His tax plan, bad. His tariff plan, bad. His mass deportation plan, bad. All of it, fucking that Donald Trump is going to have to deal with the economic crash of TikTok. The app he wanted to ban in the first place.
Okay, now, this right here is just fear. That's just fear. Somebody's scared that their precious TikTok is going to go away. All this digital slop that they consume. Like, I don't know, man. I can't even really put it into words. They consume all this garbage all day long. They think it's just going to go away. Like, Trump didn't come out and say he wants to save it. Like, Trump didn't just put a 90-day pause, or he said that he could do a 90-day pause. They're really just afraid. Look, the sun gonna shine in the morning. The sun gonna shine. Even if that little app on your phone stops working, the sun gonna shine in the morning. You're gonna be all right. You're gonna make it. I promise you will. All right. You didn't disintegrate and just go up in a puff of smoke when Trump was the president the first time. I think you'll be okay this time, unless you crash out on your own, but that's your business. That's your prerogative.
Elon Musk is $2 billion richer since Trump's election. And
That sounds like hate to me. That sounds like hate.
He just unilaterally demanded that the GOP not move forward with the budget that was bipartisanly agreed upon.
What? Unilaterally demanded bipartisanly? What are we talking about? Hey, man, please teach your children how to read books. Teach your children something. Because obviously they're going K through 12, college, and they're not being taught anything. What are they being taught? LGBTQ, LMNOP, X, Y, and Z. They know every letter of that alphabet, but ask them to do simple math. 1 + 1, they're going to break out an abacus.
And those grocery prices, they aren't showing any signs of coming down. And in fact, you already have them hedging with you, saying they won't come down. Feeling dumb yet? Elon Musk is...
I'm not feeling dumb at all. I'm feeling pretty smart. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty smart. I think I'm cool with my decision. And are you seeing the pattern? Are you seeing the pattern here? Now, shout out to the women who were in this chat. You guys are great. I said it before. Shout out to the black women, especially because I know y'all got so much you got to do with. You got to do with these NPCs, okay, in your workplace, your friend group. You got to do with them. And then you got to deal with the community hating you because you black and you want to vote a certain kind of way. Okay, the black folks hating you because you're black and want to vote a certain kind of way, and the NPCs that don't know a thing that want to be on your friend group and your group chat and whatnot. Okay.
I have secondhand embarrassment for these Trump supporters in DC. They look so out of place. They look fearful, and frankly, they look old and dumb.
Okay, they look old and dumb. That's going to be the Trump supporters. They look old. They look dumb. They look so fearful. Oh, man, if I got to hear that. Hey, if y'all got to do with stuff like that, like at your job, oh, God bless you. Hey, I couldn't do it. I could not do it. If I hear that, it sounds so dumb and they're stupid. If I hear that all day, I don't know what I would do, man. I go stir crazy. I will go stir crazy. Now, I showed you a bunch of women, right? Now we got their equivalent. Okay, look at my man. And I don't even know if that's a man or not at this point because you got filters and pronouns. I don't know what's happening. Okay, but he, she, them, they're upset about the end of TikTok potentially coming.
I have no idea how I'm going to survive. This app was literally supposed to be my way out. So for everyone who's saying, go get a job, I am literally working. I have no more time. I work almost every day doing DoorDash, and DoorDash pays $2 a delivery.
Bro, DoorDash is not a job. If you can make money doing DoorDash, and you know what? Can I say something else on something right here? Let me say something else on something right here. TikTok is not a job. DoorDash is not a job. Even what I do is not a job. I'm self-employed. I've not had a job since I've been real young. I'm self-employed, which means that if the things that I'm doing don't bring in revenue, I don't eat. So DoorDash is where I can be self-employed. I could do that on the side, bring in extra money, get gigs or whatever. If I don't make enough on DoorDash, then I got to do something else. I need to figure out a way to make more money or replace that with something else. The moral of the story here is when you say that DoorDash and TikTok are jobs, you have a sense of entitlement, like they owe you something. Okay, like you could call in DoorDash and take a day off. You could call DoorDash and get vacation time. You could call DoorDash and get a 401k and things of this nature. No, you are an independent contractor. You're self-employed. So be clear about what's going on. You can feast during good times and famine during bad times. What you need to do is figure out ways to be able to make money from multiple streams of revenue, multiple income streams, if you're going to be out here self-employed. Again, you don't have a job with DoorDash. Do you work in the coding department? Do you work at DoorDash's headquarters? Do you work in the office with DoorDash? Do you have a DoorDash badge and go in the building and work that way or remotely? No, you are a gig person and that's it. And that's okay. But you can't act like there's some kind of entitlement there. It's not.
I Instacart. I have classes Monday through Thursday in person. I have been posting on this app almost every day for 5 years, guys. I've been posting on this app 3 to 5 times every day for the last 6 months. I've made $175 on here. In 7 days on TikTok, I have made $871.
Okay, so you made $800 in 7 days on TikTok. Can we do a little bit of math? Because he had quite a few things that were up. So let's do your 8. So that's $3,200 a month. If you're making $800 a week on average, that's $3,200 in a month from TikTok. Okay. Now let's go back because you showed a receipt for DoorDash. Okay. So now I'm looking at your DoorDash, and this is your earnings. All right. So December 30th through January 5th. So that's $388. That's kind of a high. Let's just say you earning every week $250 from DoorDash, and let's go back to what you were doing on, what's this, Uber? All right, so daily you're making decent money. Let's say $25. So in the week you make $100 from this, $250 from DoorDash, $350 a week. So what's that going to be? $14 a month plus 36. So now we're at 5 bands. Did I do that math right? That little quick math. So you can't survive on that. You can't survive on that. You about to start crying. And if you've been surviving on that, do you have any kind of savings? Do you have anything else you got going on? Or are you just spending your money on beauty products and things of this nature? You should spend it on some coconut water to get yourself hydrated. You got all this stuff going on, but I digress.
I Instacart. I have classes Monday through Thursday in person. I have been posting on this app almost every day for 5 years, guys. I've been posting on this app 3 to 5 times every day for the last 6 months. I've made $175 on here. In 7 days on TikTok, I have made $871. There is no job that's going to even come close to that. My tuition is $7,000 a semester, and my rent is $800 every month. So no amount of working is going to get that pay, and I do not want to be in debt my entire life. I literally don't know what to do.
Okay, my question is, what are you in school for? You're in school right now, right? So my purpose when I was in school, for the brief period of time I was there, my purpose was to educate myself and use the education I get to go and make more money. That's how it works. When I was young, I'm working the Old Country Buffet. My peak pay, and back then, look, it wasn't no Uber Eats, no TikTok, no social media at all. It was some. Actually, it was nothing. It was no Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. None of that was even an option. So I was just making money from my job at Old Country Buffet, making at my peak $8 an hour. If I was to get $800 a month, I'm lucky back then. Maybe I could sell some CDs or something like that. Maybe I make like $1,000 a month when I'm like his age, probably a little bit younger. That's how it is. You start small, start off just grinding, getting money as a young person. You become educated. You become employable in a higher paid job. That's your goal.
My next step has always been to go to the pole. So for y'all,
the pole.
See me dancing? Do not say a day.
I don't want to see that, boss. You looking like Blake Griffin in the face. I don't want to see you in the pole.
Damn thing. The people who voted to take this app away are the people who use this app to campaign. All of their campaign posts, they posted on here. Make it make sense.
All right, so there we go. All right, bro, you're just a young guy. Be a man up, man. It's okay, man. Like all this crying and stuff, slobbing and stuff on social media, we don't do that, man. That's not what men do. What men do is we go out there and just figure out a way to make it happen. That's what we do as men, sir. So I need you to tighten up and get it together. All right, that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, you're looking like Blake Griffin, man. I ain't trying to see you dancing on no pole. Man, you gonna jump over a Kia Sportage with a basketball? You could do that, but I ain't trying to see nothing else. Now, also, let's go to some street interviews here. Shout out to Turning Point USA for this one. Let's see what leftists think about us. Let's see what they think about us on the right.
So we have send conservatives to re-education camps to be more accepting?
Yeah, man. I heard this and I got scared. I heard the other one.
They need help. Kidnap them in the middle of the night.
Kidnap them in the middle of the night, conservatives, put them in the camp. Now, you know what's funny? A lot of these people that might want to go on these Chinese apps, all right, go to China with that stuff. Go to China looking like this right here. All right. You got a male with a beard and eyeshadow. I guess that is. Is that eyeshadow, the color stuff on his face? I don't know. These men know more about makeup and stuff than the women. But anyway, go to China like that and see what happens to you.
That's what they do to high schoolers.
And would you guys say that this is democracy in action?
Yes.
So we have send conservatives to re-education camps to be more accepting?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, yeah, go ahead and do it. That's what they say.
Yeah, man. I heard this and I got scared.
Bro has on the same eyeshadow that she got on. Like, what's going on with this, man? What are we men or are we mice? What's going on today in 2024? 2025, pardon me.
The other one.
They need help. Kidnap them in the middle of the night.
There we go. Hey, that's what they want to do. But like I say, go to China. Go to China or go to Middle East, somewhere like this, just like that. And you'll see that you had it very good here and you took it for granted. You took it for granted. China, people don't know anything about China. So when they get on one of these Chinese Communist Party apps that's going to show them a curated view of what China's all about, they're going to think they're being educated, but really they're being indoctrinated. And that's pretty much been the theme throughout their entire life. K through 12, college, television, movies, music. It's all the same thing. Trying to brainwash you. So I think that's why they're so easy to get to go over to that CCP app. Because they like being brainwashed. They grew up being brainwashed. That's kind of like what they do. As long as they think it's something good for them, they think as long as it's good, in my opinion, it's okay to be brainwashed. That's what they think. But that comes from a place of ignorance. They don't know anything. They're just doing whatever. Don Lemon, what you got going on, boss?
Too cold, Donald, really, to have your inauguration outside because the temperature is going to be 23 degrees. Okay, let's just put this into perspective. It was 7 for Reagan. It was 22 for Kennedy. It was 28 degrees for Barack Obama with winds somewhere in the 20 mile an hour range as well. It was freezing. So I'm not sure it's the cold. I think maybe it's that you're afraid of the crowd sizes and that hotels are still available. And that a lot of people, as many people as, showed up for, Barack Obama or Joe Biden or whatever, won't be showing up for your inauguration.
No. The inauguration, people have been calling me. Shout out to my man that called me. I ain't talked to my man in years. He's a travel agent and he's getting booking. Black dude, shout out to you if you're watching. I'm going to try to get you that whole thing filled. But people are going to I'm getting a lot of calls, a lot of texts. Hey, are you in DC? You in DC? People are going to the inauguration. Don't get it confused, Don. I was wondering where he was going with that. I'm like, why is he mad? So he thinks the reason why it's going to be inside is because it's going to be a small crowd size. I don't understand why they keep talking about the crowd size thing, because Kamala, she had the smallest crowds out of any politician ever. And the people that did show up to Kamala's events hated her. They were heckling her, booing her, all of that. It's weird, man. These people. And Don Lemon, Don Lemon, I was rooting for you. When you got your show on X, formerly Twitter, I was like, you know what? Maybe he's turning over a new leaf. Maybe he's going back to the old conservative Don from the early CNN days that told black men to pick their pants up and speak like a man, all this and that. I thought you were going to go back to that. But really all you did was just become more like Mark Cuban. Okay, a Rachel Maddow. You became more like that. It's really a shame, man. It's so bad. It's so bad, man. Shout out to the black men who have not been emasculated like a Don Lemon, who stand for something. And you know what? It's not even about him being gay. It's not even about him being gay, because I know LGBT black men that are 100% like not this. They're 100% not this at all. He is just like that, regardless of whether he's LGBT, gay, straight, whatever. That's just him. Now, speaking about TV, somebody met Joy Behar, I think, in the airport and gave her a funny gesture. This is hilarious because, hey, check it out. Joy Behar, if I meet you in person, I think what this guy did is what I'm going to do. All right, let's watch.
I'm at Costco the other day.
No, you did not tell me this.
Waiting online to check out. And I see this middle-aged man look at me and stick his tongue out like this to me. And I was alone. Steve was outside with the dog.
Right.
And I just look at him like, what? You know, like that. And now he looks embarrassed. He's like, oh, I thought you were Joy Behar. You look just like her. And I went,
that's hysterical.
Yep.
Now, see, the guy wasn't ready to just go all the way. He wasn't ready to go all the way. See, I'm going to give you the because why not? I'm not going to be vulgar and give you the middle finger or nothing like that because that's not what I do. But something like that, I would do 100%. And then if she was like, try to confront me, try to talk to me, I give her a piece of my mind. I'd be like, because you guys, your show sucks. You lie every day. You have Trump derangement syndrome. You brainwash your room temperature IQ at best people that sit at the crib and just watch you all day long, being brainwashed all day. You guys suck. You guys are the worst on TV. That's what I would do. And I would tell her, hey, you know what? I got a lot of videos on y'all. Go to my YouTube and check it out. Go to YouTube and check it out. And I think you might get a different perspective. But yeah, the tongue out move, I approve of that. Hey, whoever you are out there, if you can hear me right now, I like the move. But when she confronts you, you got to have something to say. Don't be like, oh, no. Say what you got to say at that point. Get it off your chest.
Everyone.
But sticking his tongue out at me.
Yeah.
What kind of grown-up behavior is that?
Yeah. And you let it go at that point. You
I
didn't
did.
say,
But
yeah.
if I was a little closer to him, I would have said, what is your problem?
Right.
But I didn't.
But you know what his problem
But
is.
my body language was, I'm not Joy Behar. What is I'm at?
Now, you're definitely Joy Behar. Come on, man. Come on. You're definitely Joy Behar. We know what's going on. Let's not act silly. But yeah, the tongue out gesture, I approve of that. Non-violent, funny, in my humble opinion. Now, Joy, you just talk all that about the man sticking a tongue out at you. Probably somebody who does not like your politics. Now, this is kind of confusing what you're doing right here, though, because what's this? Joy, do you want to explain this?
I'll do the Donald Trump dance. Wow.
Joy, you want to explain yourself? Joy, what's all this? You doing the Trump dance? Is that what we're gonna do for real? For real? I mean, you people on TV are so ridiculous. I swear for everything. I swear for everything in this world. You people are ridiculous on TV. That's why we don't. That's why I stopped watching TV years ago. I stopped watching TV when I was in my 20s. Like, I don't mess around with this stuff no more. Hold on, let me just play one more time in case you missed it.
I'll do the Donald Trump dance. Wow.
Joy, what are we doing? Hey, y'all love that man. Y'all love that man. And you know what? Hold on. Let me come back. You know why the Simpsons were able to, do you know why they were able to predict that Trump will become the president on The Simpsons? Do you know why? I think I know why. Again, this is not a ball cap. It's a tinfoil hat if you didn't know. I think they knew he would become the president because everybody loved him. Everybody loved Trump. It didn't matter if you were black, white, rich, poor. Everyone loved Trump. It's simple. And when he would go on TV, sometimes he talked political and what he said made sense. And he didn't have anybody that kicked back on him. No Democrats, no Republicans, nobody. Oprah loved him. Joy Behar, the whole View. They all loved him. That's why they figured he might become the president one day because of how well he was loved by the people. And of course, they were right. Not once, but twice. With a gap in the middle of probably the worst president ever. A guy that's old as dirt itself. Old as dirt itself. Old Father Time, Methuselah. 1,100 million years old. That's Joe Biden. Trump, loved by the whole country, maybe even the whole world. That's why they knew he would become the president. Or they at least put that joke in there on The Simpsons because it was close to what reality is. Okay, and yes, you're going to have a performance from the Village People and Snoop. Did you guys see Snoop? Wait 1 minute. So Snoop Dogg previously said, hey, if you perform at the inauguration, you're this and that and the third and everything else. Okay, we're not going to forget that, Snoop. Hey, Snoop, we're not going to forget, but we can forgive, but we ain't going to forget. All right, let me show you some pictures. Let me show you some things from Snoop at the inauguration or pre-inauguration. All right, so first things first, let's go back. We got to go back and we got to show you what's going on here. All right, so let's get some sound. That might work. There we go.
So ain't nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you jigaboo ass niggas gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the fuck one of you Uncle Tom ass niggas for doing it. Which one of you niggas gonna do it first? Osby's the one that performs for himself.
So this is Snoop some years ago. That's some years ago. Oh, if you go to the inauguration, you perform. You Uncle Tom, you this, that, and the third. That's what he said back then, right? Okay. And then also, hold on, I think I got one more before we get to this. All right. Snoop posted this picture a while back, and it says, you see what it says? I can't say that word because YouTube likes to censor me when I say that. The COON bunch. Okay. Who we got on there? We got Terrence K. Williams. Shout out to Terrence. And I've met everybody on here. Terrence K. Williams, Kenneth Owens, Herman Cain, Angela Stanton, David Harris Jr., Paris Denard, Hodge Twins, Diamond Silk, RIP to, what was that? Silk or Diamond that passed away. Pardon me for not remembering the correct name. Daryl Scott, Angie Stanton. Okay, that's what he said back then. So is it different now? I think that it is. And you know what? I think what may have changed Snoop is twofold. First, well, maybe three things. First, Snoop Dogg's cousin is Ray J. Ray J is a big Trump supporter, goes to Mar-a-Lago. He's really involved with the MAGA team. So Snoop's cousin being cool with him, that could have swayed him. Also, Trump had freed this guy named Harry O from the penitentiary. Harry O was a dope dealer, and he was the guy who gave the seed money to Death Row Records. Death Row Records, that's how Snoop came into the business. That's number two. And number three, he can see what's happened to the country under the Biden administration versus what Trump did for the first term. So maybe all those things came together and said, you know what? All right, I'm going to vote differently this time. I'm going to support differently this time. So now we kind of come back. All right, let's come back to the president. Here he is at Trump's inaugural ball in D.C. performing. And shout out to my brother, Rob Smith. I think this is his video right here from the actual event. So, big difference, huh? Big difference that a few years will make. And we got pictures. We got quite a few pictures. All right, well, we got two pictures that I want to show right now. So, look, that's Snoop and Colby Covington, big Trump supporter with a Trump necklace on right there in the picture. We got Trump shoes right there in the shot. Okay. With Snoop. And then we have another young man, was that Bo Loden with the MAGA hat on. And we got Snoop posing right next to the guy with the MAGA hat on. So it's real. It's real. And this appears to be Snoop's dressing room. And they coming in there taking pictures, hanging out with him. So now you're really just kind of like in the MAGA movement. There we go. So is anybody going to attack Snoop and say, oh, you're Uncle Tom, you're this, you're that? And is anybody going to do that? Who's going to do that? And you know what? I want to say something. I'm going to say something right here since I got a little bit of time. Nobody really does this whole Uncle Tom and sellout thing anymore, unless you have just a low IQ. That's really relevant. That's really prevalent on TikTok. They love saying stuff like that because a lot of your TikTokians, not you guys if you weren't there, but a lot of your TikTokians don't care about what kind of content they consume. They'll watch a bird breakdance for 5 hours straight, unironically. That's what kind of brains they got over there. So they're going to resort to the low IQ stuff. Oh, use a coon and no Uncle Tom. Dumb stuff, right? Because that's how their brains are. They're not very intelligent people. They don't think critically. They don't know anything. So they'll say stuff like that, but people that got a brain in their head a little bit don't really speak like that. That's what I noticed. Intelligent people think a little bit deeply. Those that aren't intelligent, those that can't read beyond a third grade level, if at all, those who don't take time out of their life to learn anything new ever, they'll use some of the crass language and the racial slurs because they don't have anything else with which to communicate you. They don't have anything else to communicate with you. All they got is that, and that's it. Does that make sense? All right. So think of the Teacup. Well, Teacup says the DC airport is constant this evening with VIP after VIP arriving. Hey, it's going to be jam-packed. We got the CEO of TikTok US. We got Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg. Everybody's going to be there. Nelly, he's there. Snoop, a lot of people are there. Carrie Underwood, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of people are going to be at this inauguration. People I know, people I ain't talked to in years, telling me they're going. They're excited to go. They're excited to see Trump back in office. It's a big, big movement. Big, big movement. And again, the inauguration is going to be Monday the 20th. I will be streaming it right here live on this channel. And I'll probably put up a preview or something about that on Monday morning. All right. Monday morning, I'll put up a stream about that. Now, let's keep on going here.
Our current president of the United States has so much respect for the law that he has said he would not pardon his son. President Biden has issued a full and unconditional pardon for his son, Hunter.
So the first part was June 24. The last part, December 24.
Current president of the United States has so much respect for the law that he has said he would not pardon his son. President Biden has issued a full and unconditional pardon for his son, Hunter.
So silly. But hey, that's what they do. And when they do stuff like that, it's not really a big deal. It's like whatever. No, not a very big deal that he said something and lied about it and you knew that he was going to lie about it. All right. So Nelly, Village People, let me just show you guys that just to make sure that you guys know what's going on. All right. So, oh, and they've been down here performing for him. They've been performing. Hold on. So David Harris Jr. got a video. David Harris Jr. got a video of them performing for New Year's. All right. For Trump's New Year's party. And you hear what they're saying? They're saying Trump man. They've changed the lyrics for Trump. And this is the Village People. So everybody's on this side. You got the Village People. Like you got a lot of music artists, a lot of celebrities, the people, obviously, because he won the popular vote, the electoral vote, everything. Now, my question is, how many of these people are the original members of Village People? All right. So that's them right there. All right. So, of course, we got some younger guys, some older guys. And it says, happy to announce from their account, happy to announce our participation in President Trump's inaugural activities. All right. So they're going to be there. Shout out to them. And of course, we got Nelly. Let me see. Hold on. Let me put it on the screen right quick. Do me like you should. Love me good. Love me good. We beat them stud. What's you was? Like we draw. Did you hear that? Did you hear that at the end? He said MAGA on stage. He said MAGA. So there we have it. You have on the red hat. Of course, it's the St. Louis. What's that? The Cardinals, because he's from St. Louis. But he said MAGA right there on the stage. So you can't stop it, man. The movement, you got everybody. It don't matter what color you are, what gender, none of that matters, man. You an American, you want the best for America. Okay, cool. Come on. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. If you're in the way and you don't want to see this nation progress, you don't want to see us do well in this world, then go over there and stay over there. That's what I would say. Oh, and here's a good one. I've not seen this yet, but we need to study the last 4 years. These past 4 years, I can't even describe it, man. It's like I kind of was away somewhere. Like I was away at a camp. And then I came back. I don't know, man. It's like people that I have not seen in a long time. Feelings I have not felt in a long time from some people, from some things. It's like they return. It's kind of hard to explain. I'm seeing YouTubers I ain't seen in a long time. It's like, hey, you look different. I don't know. It's like I've been gone for a while. Like this whole thing with Biden was an experiment. And now it's over and we're back to normal. That's kind of what it feels like. So look, this right here says, now that it's almost over, I think the last 4 years need to be studied with a straight face. You said it right there, Nomi. A daze, a nightmare, a daze, all of that. Life was on pause for the past 4 years. Correct. Yes, correct.
Remember when?
All right, we got music, but yeah, Sam Brinton, that was crazy. This whole thing was crazy. Tampon Tim's wife, who's goofy as he is. Kamala, another goofball. All right, with the word salad. Oh, Corinne Jean-Pierre going up there line every day. This guy not knowing where he's going. It's like, sir, where you going? You going to the brush? You going to the jungle? What you got to do, number 2 or something? Like, what's going on? Where are you going? All right, but yeah, the last 4 years most certainly should be studied. This guy never knew where he was, and that was crazy. This incident, this was him with a bunch of world leaders. There was a guy, I guess, doing some kind of parachute act. He lands, and Biden's going to talk to the guy that just landed. Meanwhile, all the world leaders are getting ready for a picture. It's like, sir, you could talk to my man at a separate time. Giorgia Meloni, what's that, the prime minister of Italy, president of Italy? She had to come get him. Like, come on. Come on, Joe. Let's go to the little spot. I'll give you an ice cream if you come to the spot and take a picture with us. Embarrassing. Trump would never. Okay, then you got him out here just dancing. I think that might have been with Billy Porter and them, the LGBTQ peoples out there at the White House. Oh, yeah. Big Rick. Literally Big Rick. Football playing. Look, this dude played football with another general. And hey, you know what? Maybe they were doing a little bit more than football back in them days. But hey, I'm not going to make no assertions. Yeah, tripping and falling. It was a mess. It was really, really bad over the past 4 years. But I hope there is a book written about the past 4 years. I hope there's a book written about our government and how corrupt it is down to the core. We all know it, but we need some real detailed studies about it. Oh, and hey, this is a sign the world is healing. This is a sign that at least our nation is healing. All right. Stuff like this.
I'm proud to be an American in the land of cross country.
Yeah, man, get the men off the wall. Get them up out of here. It's time to go. It is time to go. And then the portrait, of course, of Trump. You got to love it. But yeah, hey, man, get up off the wall. It's time to go. Time to go night. You can go to nap for real this time. You can take a nap and you be done. Now, this video was crazy. This is about a woman talking about a baby in the womb, 9 months gestation, 8 months gestation is not a baby. What do y'all think? Is a baby in the womb 8 months or 9 months gestation a baby or not?
Here's another example. Scott Peterson, he killed his pregnant wife, Lacey, and their unborn son, Connor. Connor, in your view, was just a clump of cells. He wasn't burned yet, but his dad killed him. Should he have been penalized for killing both his wife and his son, Connor?
No.
So you think Scott Peterson should have got off scot-free for killing his 8-month-old unborn son?
Scott Peterson should have been penalized for killing his live wife.
But not Connor. Connor had no rights.
Connor was not alive.
So if
Connor was in her body.
So if I'm a woman,
Connor
so if a
was in
woman's
her body
boyfriend
and was not a human being with rights on this planet.
This is very dark because you're saying if a woman is pregnant and her boyfriend slips drugs into her.
You gotta stop talking, lady. You gotta stop talking. Interrupting her is not going to stop her making the point. Interrupting her will not stop her from making the point.
Her drink to force an abortion on her. Would you say that there should be no penalties for that man born yet, so it has no rights?
That is against the mother's body. That child does not have rights.
It's just a drug designed to kill the baby.
Yeah, are you hearing yourself? The child does not have rights. In what country does a child not have rights? I know the United States, it shouldn't be that way, at least. A child not having rights, is that what we're going to say?
It's just designed to kill the baby in her womb.
But it's designed to harm the tissue that is in her body because that's her body.
So you're saying it would have been wrong. Scott Peterson should have been given penalties for killing Connor.
For harming Lacey.
But not for harming Connor.
For harming Lacey.
So if a man...
So Connor is a part of Lacey, then it's harming Lacey.
So if a man kills his girlfriend's unborn baby, he should not be penalized for killing the unborn baby, only for in some way harming her.
Boy, oh boy. Hey, they're among us. They are among us and they vote. They vote for real. These are the ones that vote for Kamala Harris. Because people are asking, how can anybody vote for Kamala Harris? Like, why would anybody vote that way? Well, you see why they're going to vote that way. You see why they're going to vote that way. Because people like that are really out there. They really exist. They're real human beings. Okay, that is the issue. All right. Now, Joy Taylor, y'all know about Joy Taylor and the whole Fox Sports 1 lawsuit kerfuffle. Okay, here she is talking about politics. Now, I don't know why she's talking. Joy Taylor, all you got to do is be up there and just beam your headlights to the world. You don't got to say a word. But of course, she wants to have an opinion and talk and stuff like this. Let's hear from her right quick.
The great dynasties, including Tom Brady and the Patriots, you have to be in that conversation. But it hasn't started yet.
Don't listen to Joy, y'all. Started.
I mean, yeah, listen, you can talk nonsense if you want to. It's a free country for a couple more days.
No.
Coming up, Dak Prescott ball.
See what I'm saying? Like little stuff like that, like sneaking it in there, a little passive aggressive. But Joy Taylor, I don't want to hear you talk at all because the allegations in the lawsuit against you seem to be pretty legitimate. And if the allegations are true, then you have no credibility. You're just a face on TV. It just happened to do certain things to get there, allegedly. And then you want to bring in politics. Don't even talk, man. Like if that was out there, if that news got out there about me and I know I did what was in there, I'm not going to say nothing. Why talk? Just don't say nothing. And definitely don't talk about politics because now all you're going to do is bring more negativity towards you. It's silly. But yeah, shout out to her. Shout out to her. And you know, it's funny how that whole lawsuit thing has not been picked up by the mainstream media. I wonder why. I was watching Whitlock and he said, you know what? there's certain protected classes of people in this country, and she is part of it. She's a black liberal female. Now, if she's a black conservative female, like a Candace Owens, then all of a sudden she's not protected no more. All of a sudden at that point, it's on site. All of a sudden at that point, she is an evil demon, things of this nature. Black, female, liberal, you got all three right there. They want to do more for the women. They want to do more for the blacks, and they want to do more for the liberals. They want to protect the liberals. But if you are a black female conservative, that conservative part, the R next to your name, that identity will get you pretty much canceled to downstairs and back. Is she fully black? No, she's not fully black. She's mixed black and white, like her brother Jason Taylor. Shout out to Jason Taylor. I think it's in the Hall of Fame, from a Miami Dolphins player. But nah, she's black and white. All right, let's keep on going. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All righty. So Colton Moore. I know a lot of y'all had mixed feelings about Colton Moore. I'm going to show what happened right quick. And y'all let me know. So some context. And I had a longer video, but for some reason it's gone. I don't know where it's at. Shout out to ATL Scoop. I'm about to go back to them. Matter of fact, let me see. I think ATL Scoop had to re-upload it for some reason. Let me get the new video that they got on their Instagram. But basically, Colton Moore is a state senator from 53rd District. His district encompasses a lot of Northwest Georgia. And you're talking about Trenton, Georgia, real small town, which is where he's from, on over to Lookout Mountain, which is a really rich part of the state. Some of it is, at least. Fort O, like that's kind of like not far from me. That's like the Chattanooga metro area in Georgia. So the Georgia part of the Chattanooga metro, I live in the Tennessee part, but it's all basically in the same area. North Georgia, Southeast Tennessee is all kind of like one place, one region. And his district voted for him. I think he's a newer guy, but he's had some issues. One thing that he did, he gave a speech, or he made some remarks about a deceased person as they were going to honor a building after him. Now, when he made the remarks about the deceased person by the name of Ralston, talking about, oh, he's corrupt, or he was corrupt. He's dead now, but anyway, some of Ralston's family was right there. So basically, he broke the rules of decorum, and he got punished for it. It was a bipartisan thing, the left and the right. They voted unanimously to punish him. Part of the punishment was you're going to be banned from the House floor. So Colton comes back to the House floor while Kemp is in there giving the State of the State address. He wants to go in, and they're saying, Colton, you can't do it now. Come on, let's not. And then he wound up getting wrestled on the ground, and then he went to the hospital. Okay, so that's kind of what happened. Let me see if I can get you a better video or fuller video of the whole situation from ATL Scoop. They had a video up, then they deleted it. I don't know. Sometimes when you put up videos, people get upset, try to threaten you to take it down. So they probably just do another video, a new one. All right, I got it right here. So shout out again, ATL Scoop, a really good source of Atlanta news and Georgia news in general. Let's watch.
Come past this door. Go. Stop. That's it. It's gone too far. It has gone too far. Okay. I have an obligation to be in that room. I represent 200,000 people in Northwest Georgia who duly elected me to be here today. And you're hindering that. I'm not hindering nothing. Unconstitutional.
What is going on? RIP to the headphone users. And right here, of course, when he got walked out of the building, he got arrested, taken down to Fulton County Jail, and he was given a $1,000 surety bond. All right. So that's him getting taken out. And they go to mugshot, and this is him talking in the hospital. I don't know why he's in the hospital. Did you break a finger or something? What happened?
hospital here at Emory Midtown, receiving incredible service. Really proud of the staff here at the hospital. Did take a bit of a beating on my hand. It's a bit swollen and purple. We're waiting to get some x-rays to check it out. Appreciate all of your support, all of the warm comments from all over the country, all over the state of Georgia, and proud to represent the people from Northwest Georgia. I mean, today they took my freedom and liberty away as I was fighting for your liberty and freedom. But I tell you what, we still have a constitutional obligation to do work. I'll still be in that legislature come tomorrow morning. Thank you all for the support.
All right, so there you go. So a lot of y'all, not a lot of y'all, some of y'all were saying that his rights are violated, all this, that, and the third. But truthfully, let me tell you something about Georgia that I know from being out here in this area for many years. Georgia, Tennessee, like this region in general, good old boy system, 100%. Good old boy system, 100%. But it's not bad. These are very well governed states. And they got certain rules that you got to follow. And if you don't follow the rules, they will punish you. When there's some kind of issue that comes up, they try to keep it in-house. They'd rather that whole thing not get put on social media. They don't want to blast you out. They don't want to be on TV doing interviews, talking about it. They want to keep things in-house. But they will punish you if you do something wrong. A friend of mine got arrested, Robin Smith. And if you guys don't know, let me show you an article. So Robin Smith got arrested and locked up. Let me see here. Let me see if I can show an article right quick without a ton of ads and stuff on it. So, yeah, we could just do this. All right. So when Robin Smith got arrested and then she wound up getting locked up, people out here, it wasn't anybody trying to say she didn't do it. And at the same time, nobody went on TV and bashed her. Whenever anybody was asked about her, they would say, you know, hey, it's really unfortunate, really sad what happened. And that's it. Anybody's trying to say, don't lock her up. No. And what Robin did allegedly was take gifts and stuff like this, which happens. They don't play that. They don't play that. It's a good old boy system, but the outright corruption and stuff you see in other parts of the country, California, is not really a thing out here. There's some small things that happen, but nothing like what they do over in Gavin Newsom land. Okay, it's nothing like what they do over there. Okay, your job is to fill the water reservoir, and you're getting paid $750,000, $750,000. You're getting paid that much money to do it, and you don't do it. And then as a result, you have 200,000 evacuated because of the wildfire that you could have helped prevent by filling the water of the reservoir that you're being paid to do. That kind of thing is not tolerated. If you do something like that in Tennessee, you're going to prison. We don't play stuff like that around here. So the point behind that whole thing was to say, yes, good old boy system. I can see how you would say that, but we're well governed in this particular part of the country. Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, Texas, more states, but those right there, very desirable. Everybody wants to live here. Low cost of living. Crime is not actually that bad because of how we're governed. California, on the other hand, what's going on? Oh, we're the sixth biggest economy in the world. We got all the money. We pay so much in federal income tax. Okay, but look at your state, though. Look at what's going on. You got wildfires out of control, crack smokers everywhere. You got a lot of stuff going on that is not being controlled. It's not being controlled. I'm wrong on that, Shirley Bailey. What did I get wrong? Let me know what I got wrong. All right. Let's keep on rocking here. Now, let's go to the whole thing with Tony Blinken or Anthony. His name is actually Anthony with no H. Blinken, Tony Blinken. He's having a press conference or something like this, and you have journalists who are acting the fool getting kicked out. Let's start with Max Blumenthal, who has a big online presence.
And you kept the bombs flowing. Why did you sacrifice the rules-based order on the mantle of your commitment to Zionism? Why did you allow my friends to be massacred? Why did you allow my friends' homes in Gaza to be destroyed when we had a deal in May? You helped destroy our religion, Judaism, by associating it with fascism.
We'll have the time
You
to
waved
take
the white flag before
We'll have the time to take
Netanyahu.
questions at the end.
You waved the white flag before Israeli fascism.
We'll have the time to take questions
Your
at the end.
father-in-law was an Israel lobbyist. Your grandfather was an Israel lobbyist. Are you compromised by Israel? Why did you allow the Holocaust of our time to happen? How does it feel to have your legacy be genocide? How does it feel to have your legacy be genocide? You too, Matt. You smirk through the whole thing every day. You smirk through a genocide.
All right, so that's Max Blumenthal. And then this is Sam Husseini. My favorite recent crash out is Sam Husseini because of the way that he got kicked out.
People. You pontificate about a free press. You pontificate about a free press. You are hurting me. You are hurting me. You are hurting me. I am asking questions after being told by Matt Miller that he will not answer my questions until I'm asking questions. Wasn't the point of the May 31st statement to block the ICJ orders? You blocked the ICJ orders.
Please, sir, respect the process.
Respect the process. Respect the process. While everybody from Amnesty International, to the ICJ is saying that Israel is doing genocide and extermination, and you're telling me to respect the process.
All right, there we go. So my man getting kicked out, being lifted up with his feet and everything in the air. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is, man. Sometimes things like that happen, you know. So shout out to him. Hey, you got your point across, your message out there, but now you got a free escort out of the building by some fine officers in that particular part of the country. All right, now can we go to Joy Reid? Now look, Joy Reid is just like everybody else on television, hypocritical. MSNBC, this is her back in December of 2020. After Trump lost, quote unquote, lost the election. Let's see what her sentiment was back then about election interference or tinfoil hat theories about the election possibly being stolen. Let's hear from, again, Joy Reid back in December of 2020.
President-elect Joe Biden will be confronted by not one, but two viruses when he takes office in 42 days. The first, of course, being the pandemic, but the second virus is the more pernicious long-term threat to our country, the disease of anti-democracy derangement, infecting nearly the entire Republican Party, and not just Donald Trump, to the point that Republicans up and down the scale, from national political figures to local yokels, are joining in Trump's increasingly absurd and far-fetched last gasps at overturning the presidential election. Trump is now disposed of pretending to even believe in democracy and is now straight up screaming on Twitter for the election to be overturned. And he followed through on a pledge to join in a ludicrous Texas lawsuit asking the U.S. Supreme Court to overturn Biden's victory by stopping the certification of votes in 4 battleground states.
You get the idea. 2020, after Trump lost, quote unquote, she said one thing back then, but now that Trump won again and is back in office, here's what she says with her friend drinking wine. All right, check it out.
They're even talking about like stealing an election. And it's making me rethink whether I do believe like election machines can be hacked. Because I've always been like, you can't hack the election machines, but they're like convincing me, I don't know, maybe you can. I don't know.
I mean, to me, in this world, anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
There are all these conspiracy theories out there about Trump and whether or not they cheated. I know you say that they didn't, but I know you kind of have to.
Wait a minute. I didn't say they didn't. What I said is there's
her friend. That's, by the way, Jackie Reed. Jackie Reed appears to be a rational person. You see, Jackie Reed just called her out and said, well, you did say that it wasn't stolen. Now she said, well, nah, it's not really what I said. And you see her face. Oh, for real? Because I know what I heard. So shout out to her for being a real friend, a real person, and not just letting her say anything. Okay. Now, if you don't know who Jackie Reed is, let me show you a picture from her BET days. That's why I know her, from the early 2000s. Oh yeah, right here. Like if you watch BET back then and you watch the news show they had, this is how she used to be. That's her right there. Like the early 2000, like 2001, 2002. So this is like my end of high school, early college days. I used to love watching that. She had the look with the shortcut, and then she was very articulate. Yeah, that definitely got me in the news back then. So shout out Jackie Reed. All right, now let's go back.
There is a rational explanation for why Kamala Harris could have lost those swing states and Trump won them. There's a way you can get to those numbers with people staying home or only voting for Trump and not the rest of the ballot. I'm saying there's a history of that. However,
let me hear it, because what
I will say is there was absolute voter suppression that took place, and I consider that cheating. If you think about the voter law in your state of Georgia, that law is anti-voter.
What law is anti-voter in Georgia? Nobody. Look, Jackie Reed is not going to tell you, Joy Reid, that she had a hard time voting in Georgia. She's not going to tell you that. Nobody will. It's not hard to vote here. Where do you live, Joy Reid? California, New York? Where do you live? Not in Georgia, obviously.
When you have bomb threats only in Fulton County, we don't know how many people stayed home out of fear because of the bomb threats in Fulton County. When you have Elon Musk waving around $1 million checks in order for people to vote for Trump.
Yeah.
Right. There's so many things that were done that were nefarious, to put aside just the actual voter suppression in these anti-voter laws that kept people from registering, that messed up people's voter registration when they showed up and all of a sudden they're not on the rolls.
But that happens every year, right? That happens all the time.
So yeah,
what
I
I'm
think
talking about are these conspiracy theories about Elon Musk, somehow using his tech connections, because I don't want to say genius because we know he's not.
Yeah, he ain't a genius.
But those relationships or whatever, because
that was just hate. That was just her trying to support her friend. That's all that was. And they drinking. Put the wine down.
They just seem too confident. And I know, and I'm not saying it was the voting machines or whatever. It just doesn't add up to me with all the support that she had. And I know that for you, and because of what happened with Fox and because what you do professionally with the network, you can't say it was the machines or something like that. But if you think it was the machines, but you can't say, just don't say anything. See, this is what I'm saying.
I'm not saying anything. All I'm saying is there are many ways to cheat in an election. And I don't ever put it past Republicans to cheat in elections.
So it's okay for you guys to get on here and talk about Republicans cheating the election, the laws, cheating the election. It's all kind of things. Look, you guys will go in there and say that. But then if a Republican says, hey, maybe this wasn't right, maybe it was stolen, it was some funny things going on with the votes in this place and that place. Oh, tinfoil hat, you're inciting the insurrection, conspiracy theories. It's so silly. It's so silly. And by the way, they're not related. Her last name, Joy Reid's last name, is from her husband. Before Reid, her last name is Lomena. She's her dad is African, and her mama's from Guyana. First generation immigrant, if you didn't know, Joy Reid. And Jackie Reed is from Atlanta. Fun fact. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And her shirt, by the way, her hoodie says melanin. All right. Like, we can't see you black already. Like, I don't know, your dad is an African. Your dad sound like this, huh? Hey, Joe, your dad sound like this. Not going to say you got the melanin in your blood. You could see on your face. I can see your face right now. That's how your dad sound right now, Joy Reid. That's your daddy's voice. So you don't got to say, I got melanin. Well, hey, man. How obvious are you going to get with your t-shirt? Anyway, shout out to her. Shout out to the live. Shout out to the gaslighting. We got a lot more I want to get through before we get to the calls. And the number to call, y'all know what it is, 434-658-1220. I'm going to go through a few more of these before we get to the calls. Now, where do I want to go first? Bill Gates. How you feel about Bill Gates? Are y'all fans of Bill Gates?
Have you met?
Not fans of Bill Gates? How do you feel about Bill Gates and Donald Trump having a meeting for 3 hours over dinner? Let me just play what he said about Trump.
Have you met with Donald Trump since the election?
Yeah, I had a chance to go have a long and actually quite intriguing dinner with him.
What did you discuss? What was intriguing?
Well, we touched on a lot of things. It was over 3 hours. To my surprise, it was, just he and I, his chief of staff, Susie Wiles, and the person who helps manage things for me, Larry Cohen. So the four of us sat there, and it was quite wide-ranging. Global health's the area that I work in, and such amazing things have happened and can happen there. I spoke a lot about HIV and that the foundation's literally working on a cure for that. We're at an early stage, and so he, in the COVID days, accelerated the vaccine innovation. So I, was asking him if maybe the same kind of thing could be done here, and we both got, I think, pretty excited about that.
You guys want to fast-track HIV vaccination? I'll tell you what, man, I don't care who it is. Like, let me just say this. Because there's not much more there. He said that he was impressed with Trump. Matter of fact, I'm going to let it play. And then I'm going to give you my 2 cents.
We talked about polio, where, we're very close to getting that done. But if you stop, it'll spread back. And so I explained why it's been tough in Pakistan, Afghanistan. We've had cases show up in Gaza. We have cases in Africa. And he was fascinated to hear what he could do to maximize the chance that during the next 4 years, that incredible milestone will be achieved. I felt like he was, energized and, looking forward to helping to drive innovation. I was frankly impressed with how well he showed a lot of interest in the issues I brought up.
All right. So it says he was impressed with with the issues that he brought up and Trump's level of interest. So what do y'all think about Bill Gates? Are we fans? Are we not fans? I'm not a big fan of Bill Gates. I'm not a fan of vaccinations, period. Yeah. And, fast tracking HIV vaccinations. I'm not a fan. And what I wanted to get to before I just let it continue to play is that I'm not on board with everything that Trump may be on board with. I'm on board with 99.9% of things, in my opinion, but not everything. I was not on board with the vaccines, with the Operation Warp Speed. I was not on board with that. I was not on board with the slow to spread, 14 days. And the things that happened afterward, I think it was an individual state decision as far as the shutdown. But I wasn't for the shutdown. I wasn't for the vaccinations. But that's about it. Oh, also, I'm not really in favor of the whole Bitcoin situation. Not even Bitcoin, the Trump coin. I don't know what that's all about. Have you guys seen that? The Trump coin? Has Trump been promoting that? I'm not into it. If you're going to buy any kind of crypto, let it be Bitcoin, in my opinion. And really, my advice would be, if you want to invest into something like that, just get stocks. That's going to be a safer bet for you. Get some blue chip stocks and let it be like a savings account. I'm not into the day trading, so I can't give you no advice on that. But if you want to just put money away and it'd be like a high yield savings account, get some blue chip stocks. Get your Amazon, Google, Microsoft, etc. That's what I do. Yeah, the Trump coin. Yeah. If you guys haven't seen it, let me see if I can pull it up for you right quick. Trump coin. All right. So look, here's Axios. It says Trump launches a meme coin, apparently makes more than 25 billion overnight. Billion with a B, 25 billion overnight. Now, if you know, like I know, meme coins are basically elaborate pump and dump schemes. Okay, you're able to buy in early, and what you want to do is sell before you want to sell at the peak. So when it crashes, which it always inevitably does, you are able to make money before people who come in on the end of it invest and lose money. That is the idea. Now, this kind of coin could be more stable than some of the other meme coins we've seen. But how stable is it going to be? If you were to ask me, hey, ABL, do you want to invest in the meme coin, a Trump coin? I'm going to say, nah, I would invest into Trump's properties if you have those listed publicly. I'd invest into those. I invest into Trump hotels, things of this nature, but not a meme coin. I'm not going to do that. Yeah, that's not my thing. So like I said, I'm not on board with everything Trump does just because it's Donald Trump. And it's okay. It's totally fine. You're not going to agree with everything that everybody in this world says or does. It's just not possible. People that you love in your life every day, you love them and you're never going to leave them. These are your husbands, wives, family members, your children. You're not going to agree with them every day, but you still love them the same. And it's okay. It's okay. Now, the problem is when some of these things become mandatory and law. That's the issue. I don't think Trump was in favor of vaccine mandates. And I don't think you're going to be mandated to buy the meme coin from Donald Trump. So as long as that is the case, then I can make my own decision. All right. Hey, Trump says, here's a meme coin. You want to buy that? No, I'm good. I'll pass. Hey, Trump says you want a vaccine? I'm good. I'll pass. And that's okay. But people need to be more educated about what's really going on. They need to be educated about what a meme coin is, about what crypto is in general, about the way that the whole thing works. Be educated about that and then go into it with a mind that's prepared for it, rather than just jumping out the window because it's Trump and you trust him with whatever. I don't behave like that with anyone on God's green earth, period. ER says crypto worth zero when the power goes out. Well, hey, you're right about that, but what power? Are we talking about power in general, like no more lights ever, no more electricity, some kind of war situation? If that's going on, we got a whole different ball game going on. But me personally, I'm into stocks. That's what I do. I'm into stocks and I get pretty good returns. That's what I like. I was watching DJ Vlad one time. Shout out to him. And by the way, there's always this thing on the internets about the Jews. Oh, let's blame the Jews. The Jews did this and the Jews did that. Personally, the Jews always had my back. They always had my back. They always looked out for me. I never had a problem with working with Jews. It's never been an issue. Now, I know it's going to be inflammatory to some people, but I never had an issue. And the thing about it, some people don't have any kind of street smarts or intelligence. I'm not trying to downplay historical things, but people just let people take advantage of them. They don't go into it intelligently. If you approach people with respect and intelligence and protect yourself, for the most part, you'll be good, regardless of what color you're dealing with. Use a little bit of common sense. All right. Like, for example, when China releases an app in all Chinese called Zhonghao Shu, which means Little Red Book, you got to understand when you go on there, you're going to get propaganda. You're going to get propaganda. Don't blame them for giving you the propaganda after they told you, hey, we're going to do that to you. It's your fault because you didn't read, you didn't pay any attention, and you didn't listen to anybody. That's your fault. Don't blame them. Don't blame the Jew. Don't blame the white man. Blame yourself. And again, the whole thing about the Jews to me is like an advanced version of blaming the white man. Everybody else, when they want to blame somebody, zero accountability, blame white people. White people, okay, who do we blame? Everybody blames us. Okay, let's blame an ethnic group of white people called Jews. That's my opinion about it, and I'm going to stand on that. I'm going to always have that opinion. That's been my 20 years of living as an adult. That's kind of what I have been able to gather. That's kind of what's going on. Anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. Now, Kathy Hochul. She had a State of the State address the same way that Brian Kemp had his State of the State address, where Colton got, slammed on his finger, broke his finger or whatever. Kathy Hochul had her State of the State address. Now, Georgia, Tennessee, etc., good old boy system, but very well governed. Now, what kind of system exists in New York? Okay, They might need a good old boy system because what is this?
I got my suit and tie. I'ma leave it all on the floor tonight. And you got mixed up to the nines. Let me show you a good
Kathy Hochul, what is this?
dance. All dressed up in black and white. And you dressed.
I'm gonna turn the music down because I don't want to get copyright. But is this senior night? Is this assisted living activity night? What is this? Okay, a whole dance routine for what? Why? Anybody want to tell me? Okay, now we're playing BBD Poison. Now, you know what? I'm good. I am good. Hey, New York City, New York State, what's going on? You want to explain this? Anybody want to try to fill me in? Look at bro, all in it. You need to be all in the gym, losing some of them carbohydrates off your back and your neck, looking like a pack of hot dogs back there. Get involved with that. Do that dance and everything, lose some of that weight. Bro, wait a minute. Bro, for real? Again, this, if you guys don't know what's going on, if you're kind of confused, like ABL, what am I watching? What's up with all these people just doing all this? This is New York Governor Kathy Hochul's State of the State address. Now, I tell you what, it was none of this silly activity happening in Georgia. You see what I'm talking about? It's a difference. It's a difference. I'm sure you got plenty of fine New Yorkers, great people, hardworking, dedicated, Christian, loving. A lot of you guys in New York. However, look at your governance. Look at they're literally clowns. Your governance in these blue states are clowns. And I'm wondering, how long are you going to put up with it without getting them fools up out of there, voting them out of there, replacing them with competent people? Hey, Boomhauer said, state of the stizzle, my nizzle. Hilarious. That is funny. That is hilarious. But yeah, hey, maybe they're trying to bring Broadway to Albany. Maybe that's what's going on. BBD Poison? Is that what we're going to do? Boy, oh boy, oh boy. All righty. Okay, so I have some more of the inauguration protests. All right, let's see some of this. So quite a few people. I can't see these signs though. Hey, inauguration protesters. Hey, never Trumpers. This is not a very diverse crowd. I want to see more black and brown faces. I want some, I want to see some DEI initiatives in this protester crowd. Because I'm seeing a bunch of white MS-13, DNC, CNN, ABC viewers. That's all I see right here. Okay, all I see is a bunch of Facebookers who came from one group probably at this event. I want more diversity. That's all I want from you guys. So this is moving day at the West Wing. They're getting up out of there. Yeah, time to go. Get on up out of there. Let's move. So they're vandalizing stuff. I don't know what's going on. Eat wieners? Is that like a kind of a nasty expression? Oh, eat the rich. Okay. Eat the rich. That's what's going on. So we got Trump and I'm not sure who else is in there. Maybe Mark Zuckerberg, an Asian person. That's racist. That's a racist depiction of an Asian person. Okay, what if it was a black guy in there? You're going to have the big lips and the big eyes and stuff like this. They're racist. You know what? Let me tell you something right now. Leftists, especially your white liberals, are the most racist people on planet Earth. whenever I go on C-SPAN or something like this and comment on whatever platform, it could be on their website, the YouTube page, social media especially, immediately they're talking about my race. One person was like, oh, you want to vote for Trump? You want to be a slave again? It's like, a slave? Really? Hey, just call me the N-word and be a man about it. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want the passive aggressive stuff. If you want to use the N-word, just do that, because that's what they are. They're racist off rip, so that's what they do. The N-word is their favorite forbidden word. They always want to talk about slavery and you hate yourself because you're black. So rather than just talking to me about the politics, you're going to just go to my skin color. That's racist. But again, they master in projection. That's all they do. All right, I got one more of these on my show. Then we're going to get to the calls. So some of these signs, what they say are fights. I can't see what it says. All I see is RRR. All right. And then it says, we rise, we resist, we march. We will not be silent. And then somebody says, socialism beats fascism. Oh, does it? Oh, does it? Show me where fascism, quote unquote, has ever been beat by socialism. And show me where socialism is a good form of governance. Show me that. And then I'll be able to shut my mouth. Oh, was the Asian hot dog Elon Musk? Okay, I must have missed that. We will not go back. If you ask them, where do you not want to go back to? They're going to start glitching and just say Orange Man bad and we don't want to go back. That's all they're going to do. A lot of curse words. I don't even know what that says, but I see the B word. I'm seeing some female organs. I'm seeing a lot of stuff on here, man. These people are really bad. Really, really bad. Hey, I'm glad I live in Tennessee. I'm glad I got neighbors that got sense. Everybody's cool out here. I don't got a bunch of blue-haired weirdos. I don't got nobody wanting to act a fool. I'm good. I love it. We got pickup trucks and stuff like that all over the place. American flags. I love it. I love it. Where they going to go back? They want to go bit back? Go back to their, illegals will go back to their country of origin. And people that want to sit on their hind parts all day eating pork rinds and things of this nature got to go back to work, or else ain't gonna be no more pork rinds. Your pork rind supply will be very, very short if you keep on acting up. Send them to China, hey, that's what I would say. That's what I would say. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff that helped me out tremendously. I had quite a few videos I didn't get through, but we're going to show some of those in regular pre-recorded videos. Alrighty, let's get to super chats, then we get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Thank you to Apple Barker, All Puff Daddy, who says, last weekend of President Biden, thoughts? Hey, it is time. It's been time. I've been ready. Like I said, I'm like a child on Christmas Eve. This is like Christmas Eve. Did y'all do that when you were a kid? It's like, okay, Christmas is coming. Okay, this is Christmas Eve. That's how tonight feels for me. And then after that, Christmas Eve, and then we back. And then we're back. Thank you to Rockvolution 2, who says, promote the Discord or we protest. Shout out to you. Thank you to Apple again, who says, when Biden inevitably kicks the bucket, do we tell the truth about this horrible, corrupt political career right away? Or do we wait for the morning? You say that instantly. As soon as he kicked the bucket, you say that at the funeral. Off rip, immediately. Because you know, if Trump was to go somewhere else, they would waste no time talking about how bad they think he was. All right. Thank you to Apple again, who says, God bless J6ers and pro-lifers liberation coming soon. Thank you to Bit Rocks, Little Rocks, great name, of course, who says, can I get a shout out? It's my birthday, ABL. Happy birthday to you. Hold on. Hey, Big Rocks, Little Rocks, enjoy your birthday. Happy birthday to you. I'm not sure how old you are, but enjoy yourself. Thank you to Apple again, who says, ABL, how about Antonio? It's got a nice ring to it. Nope. Apple also says, Ivan, do you want USA to succeed under Trump? Thank you to All Natural, who says they cannot spell Benjamin last name. I always say, like Benjamin Franklin, and it's still misspelled. Womp womp. Yeah, they can't, because they can't read. Reading is fundamental. If you can't read, you got a problem. Thank you to Apple again, who says, ABL, on a scale of 1 to 10, rate the Biden administration. Well, out of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest, I'm going to give it a 1. But I'm going to say 0 for myself. Your scale, 1 being the lowest, it's a 1, but for me, it's a 0. It's a below 0. Apple also says, ABL, how will history remember the Biden administration? If the books are written properly, and we're not going to be deceived in the future about what happened here, you got to look back on this time as incompetence, as corrupt, as kind of a dark period in history. Yeah, you got to look at it like that. Apple again says, I get sad seeing all those anti-Trump protesters in D.C. They call themselves resistance. We just had an election and they lost. Are they for real? Hey, some people just have wishful thinking. They think that if they protest enough, if they screech and cry enough, maybe the orange man will go away. That's kind of what's going, like a monster under your bed. Ron Henderson says, with some people, you can't just fix stupid. Exactly. Ron Henderson also says, Trump will be the president. Get over it. Yeah, exactly. Shout out to you. Boomhauer says, January 20th can't get here fast enough. It sure can't. Thank you to Yogi Fish, who says, bless up, brother ABL, with the shades and the prayer hands. Thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you, boss. Thank you to Ron Henderson, who says, liberal tears are conservative cheers, 100%. Thank you to Blue Baggins, who says, Snoop saw the light. That's a good thing. No need to, I'm not, bring it back up again, I suppose. Blue Baggins also says, a lot of brothers joined the MAGA train this time around. Yes, absolutely. And you know what? You're correct about that. Snoop said what he said about Trump back in the day, but I know people, friends of mine, that turned on me back then. Back in 2016, they turned on me. I got called everything up under the sun. I got called everything but a child of God. You understand what I'm saying? I got called all of that by some of my friends from back in Virginia. But a lot of those guys apologized to me later. They apologized to me and they said that they were proud of me. So that made me feel good. It let me know that I was always right from the beginning. And what it also did was to give me confidence to say, hey, you know what? You are an intelligent person. You know what's going on. Just stick to what you're doing. Don't let the outside world dictate what you do. Listen to people, hear what they got to say, hear them out, but don't let them dictate what you do. Make your own decisions. Be a man on your own. And as long as you follow that, you'll be good. You'll be good. Shout out to Ron Henderson, who says, going to watch Inauguration with ABL on my big movie screen. Can't wait. Hey, shout out to you. We will definitely be here covering the inauguration on Monday, the 20th. So y'all be sure to be here Monday, the 20th. I'm not sure when I'm going to go live. They're talking about it's going to be at 12 noon. So that's the tentative time for right now, 12 noon, but it'll probably be earlier depending upon when they do certain things. And I'm not sure how long I'm going to be here. If I got to be here all day, then so be it. I ain't going nowhere. We will see this inauguration. We will see it. Period. We worked very hard to get to where we at, and we're going to enjoy it. Thank you to Ron Henderson, who says, I'm proud to be a local Yoko. Local Yoko. Shout out to Ron Henderson again, who says, more people voted in Georgia in 2024 than 2020. Funny how that works. Voter suppression. Right. I get it. Exactly. That's all I'm saying. You get more people voting in 2020 than 2024 than in 2020 when everybody was locked down and they couldn't really do too much. Well, not locked down. When people were kind of like more inside. So if you have more voting now, then obviously these so-called suppressing laws are not suppressing. Brian Henderson says, Kathy Hochul, penguins on parade. Yeah, that state of the state address situation with Kathy Hochul was ridiculous. Like, what are y'all doing? living out your nerd fantasies from 20 years ago. But anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Let's get to the calls. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Do not be afraid to call. If Skype doesn't work right, don't blame me. Blame the white man because it ain't my fault. And of course, there is a Skype email in the description if you want to be right here, bottom left-hand corner of the screen. Let me get my sound together, and then we're going to get the calls rocking and rolling. All right, I think we got it right there. Let's go. I'm speaking to 617. You're on the line.
Hey, what's going on, ABL?
What's happening?
I guess I was listening to you. Congratulate you for, I guess you moving up the ranks and then all these conservative YouTubers, especially the black ones. You mentioned like Charlemagne the God, and you mentioned that Stephen Smith, that they should be going conservative and then believe whatever they're doing. But, these guys are no political analysts. You know that, right? They don't know much about politics. You agree on that?
I don't know that. How do you know that?
No, they don't know. They're like you. They are not knowledgeable in politics. They pick up videos and then they go there and then they it's more like an entertainment.
Okay, so that's your opinion, and that's fine.
No, it's a fact. Let me give you a few facts. So, do you believe that Trump he should be giving credit for if the hostage gets released from Hamas? Do you think Trump should get the credit?
I don't really know. I don't really care about that.
Okay, you don't know. You don't care about that. Okay, so let me ask you this. So, do you believe if the water reservoir in California will be full of water and we didn't have DEI? Do you believe the outcome would have been different for DEI for the firefighters?
What's the question again?
If the reservoir for the water reservoirs would have been filled with water, because they said there were damages, so they couldn't fill it. Let's say it would have been full of water, and let's say there was no DEI at all, no DEI, all strong white men, intelligent, qualified. Do you believe the outcome would have been the same? Would have been different?
So you're saying if the water was not filled or if it was filled?
It would have been filled.
Well, if it was filled, then it would have been a better outcome. What's DEI got to do with it?
Okay, so stop right there. In 2020, they were filled. The outcome was much worse. In 2018, they were filled. The water was worse. In 2016, they were worse. 2012 were worse.
Okay, so are you wait, sir, are you trying to tell me that having water in the reservoir would have made it worse? Are you trying to tell me that?
No, I'm not saying it would have made it worse, but you using this. See, this is how you play the game.
No. You answered the question.
You're gonna let
No. You answered the question. Now I'm going to ask you another question. So, if you're not saying that it was going to be worse, then what was it going to be? Was it going to be better?
Well, the outcome would have been the same.
It would be okay. So wait. So if you have 117 million gallons of water, you telling me that wouldn't have made any kind of impact on fighting the fire?
No, it would have made no impact. You know who said that?
All right. Who said that?
The chief of the Department of Water and Sewer in California said that.
Okay.
The marshals on the fire say that they will make the impact. 95.
Do you expect them to say that they failed, and if they didn't fail, that it would have been a better outcome? Do you really believe they're going to say that?
But you don't let me talk. Do you listen to them?
Do you think they're really going to say that? Excuse me. Answer the question. Do you think they really were going to? Excuse me. Do you really believe that they were going to say that they failed, and if water was in the reservoir, then it would have been better? Are they really going to say that?
The outcome would have been the same because the fire was a speed of 95 miles per hour. The fire was expected to go to the woods and went to the urban areas. That's what the way the fire escalated. No. I'm gonna talk now. I'm gonna talk now.
So I'm gonna talk now. You can't. Nobody can hear you. I can't hear you either. So firefighters said that they had to watch an apartment building just go up in flames because there was no water in the hydrant. So if the reservoir was filled and there was water in the hydrant, couldn't they put the fire out?
Can I talk now?
Answer the question.
You
answer the question. Answer the question, sir.
Are you stupid or are you stupid? Which one?
Okay, answer the question. Are you going to just insult me? See, that's what happens when you're losing the argument.
Different.
So look, the question is you hear my question? Sir, did you hear my question? Huh?
No, I'm not going to answer because you.
Oh, you're not going to answer the question. Okay. So if you're not going to answer the question, so look, check it out. If you're not going to answer the question, then what else are we going to do here? Are we done tonight?
Huh?
So are we done for the night? Are you finished?
No, I'm not done.
No. The question is, since you're not going to answer the question, then what are we doing?
No, it wouldn't be different because the fire was going 95 per hour speed. The fire was going into the urban areas and was going to the woods. There's no way. So how do you control it?
Sir, listen. The firefighters said that they had to watch an apartment building go up in smoke because it didn't have the water to put it out. So you're telling me that when the firefighters are right there wanting water to put out a fire, if they had the water, it wouldn't have made a difference?
Do you know why the hydrant did not?
Answer the question. Just answer the question, or I'm gonna let you go.
I'm not gonna answer because you.
All right. Matter of fact, how about this? Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. All right. Now look, you can't tell me that having 117 million gallons of water in a fire is not gonna make a difference. That's just preposterous. That's preposterous. They're saying they're going to the hydrant. They're trying to get water out. And the water's not coming out, or it's low pressure. The reservoir is right there in that area, right up in them hills. If the reservoir was full the way it was supposed to be, then maybe they would have water. Maybe they would have pressure. So that building that went up in smoke, went up in flames, the apartment building, maybe they could have saved it. Maybe they could have saved other structures. It's simple. Now, somebody says Ivan was correct. Correct about what? Correct about what? If you have water, that can help you fight a fire. You can't sit there and tell me that if you have water, it's not going to help. That's just ridiculous. When you're talking about the way the fire spread because of the winds, that's separate from putting out individual spots. It just, I don't know, man. People are just, that's the NPC behavior, dumb behavior, silly. All right, let's keep on going. The number to call, y'all know the drill, 434-658-1220. All right. I see somebody on Skype texting me. Just call in, boss. Just call in. You get money. 301. You're online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Tom. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I thought you're live, but maybe I'm my video. I'm doing good. Am I live right now?
You live right now, boss.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, my name is Thomas Riley. I'm originally from Maryland. I think that you got a very good conversation with the last guy. You know, it's a fun conversation to have. I think no disrespect to California at all. I think that they done fucked up in so many different directions.
You can't cuss.
That I don't really think that. Oh, I'm so sorry. My bad. I apologize.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that they did mess up from a few different standpoints, different hierarchical levels. And in terms of their organization, it's possible that there was some, normal, if they didn't like try to fire people over vaccines, for example, or that they were just putting, lesbians in charge of everything, that it's possible that they could have handled it in a different kind of way, but I can't make any actual hypothesis on that. That's all I really wanted to say in terms of that, but I really wanted to call about something else. Is that all right?
Go for it.
I appreciate you. So, Trump recently reopened his reopening of the External Revenue Services. Now, that's the ERS instead of the IRS. I think that that's the most fantastic news I ever heard in my life. What do you think about that, Anthony?
Yeah, I like it. I like the ERS. I like that idea. And also, while he's doing that, he can kind of reform the IRS because they are a mess.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's pretty much
what I wanted to, what do you think about how that relates to the federal balance versus the state balance of their revenues? Because the states are able to do their own value-added taxes, and the states are also able to do their own excise taxes. And I think that sort of balances out some of the questions that we've been having about coastal elite areas versus, the South, the Central, the Midwest, all the places that have been complaining for a while. They've been called racist, they've been called X, Y, and Z, they've been called, white man is mad about something, he's sexist, etc. He don't like the government, he like his guns, his God, his Bible, and all that. I think that there's been a disbalance between, the coastal elite areas. They got the Navy, they got Air Force, they got drills and rigs, they got cargo container ships, they got tourism. You know what I'm saying? They got Europe on that side. On the other side, on the west, they got Chinese and Indochina. So my theory is that if you allow the states to have their actual revenues, which is the value-added tax for the services and the excise tax for the actual shipments, that now we cooking. You know what I mean? It's more of a balance between the coastal elites and the people in the central of the country. And I think that's going to help a lot of black people too. I'm just going to be honest with you. I think it's a little bit more fair. What do you think about that?
I believe right about that for sure. And it's definitely a good thing for this country. A lot of black folks to be helped by it too. So yeah, I'm definitely with it.
But yeah, that's all I really wanted to bring up, man. I appreciate the call.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Peace out. I support you.
Thank you. All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. The number to call, 434-658-1220. 518, you're the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. My name's Norm.
All righty, man. What's going on?
I live in upstate New York. This will be the third time that I'm speaking with you. And I had two questions for you, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
Okay. The first question I have is, do you enjoy fishing?
I'm not really an avid fisher, but I've been a few times. It's cool.
Okay. Would you consider yourself a fisherman?
Nah.
No. Okay. The reason why I think it's relevant, so for instance, if we're talking about a certain species of fish, like smallmouth bass. So smallmouth bass that are like under a pound, they're primarily feeding on certain things in that poundage. So they might be eating like insects and insect larvae. Then the 1 pound smallmouths would be eating like 1-inch minnows or something relevant to their size. And then like 2 pound smallmouth would be eating like shad, 3 pound would be eating like crayfish, and maybe like 4 pound are eating like perch, maybe larger shad. The reason why it's relevant is because unless each grouping has the next available window, 1 pound, like a 1 pound smallmouth can't become a 2 pound smallmouth, and a 2 pound smallmouth can't become like a 3 pound smallmouth. So they have to have all these different availabilities of forage. Otherwise, they just can't pass through the separate windows. And the reason why I wanted to talk about that is because I'm sure you have some expert fishermen that are listening. There's probably some pros that are listening, and they can back up, what I'm saying. The reason why that's important is because when people have been talking about the smelt, it's not necessarily the smelt that are really important, but it's the availability of the fish that eat the smelt. Because if they don't have that available forage, then they cease to exist. So I'm not saying that we should allow forest fires and things of this nature because to save the smelt, maybe they can introduce these different forage items for those species of fish, like, salmon and striped bass that are happening to need that for those different food groups in the California area. But everybody's just like mentioning it as just like, so what about the smelt? But the smelt represent all these other species of fish that rely on them heavily.
I see what you mean. So it's more like an ecosystem kind of thing. It's not just about one fish.
You'll never catch a 6 pound smallmouth unless they have all these different availabilities. They have to pass through all these different type of windows. So it just doesn't happen unless there's forage that's suitable for their size group.
Okay.
So I just think there's so many people that are commenting about the smelt. It's not really the smelt. It's smelt. Smelt are really closely related to trout and salmon, but those salmon, striped bass that happen to be in California, they're just not going to have anything to eat unless there's, so much availability of different food groups, including smelt. Smelt's really crucial to that. I'm an East Coast guy. I've lived in New York State my entire life, all over New York State. And so I've been an avid fisherman since I was like 11. So, but I'm sure there's plenty of people in the chat that are listening that could back up or just make their own comments as far as that's concerned. So that was like my first question. I have one more question, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
Okay. This one's a bit more abstract. Do you believe in vampires?
No.
Okay. My mentor about 20 years ago, he stood up right in front of me and he asked me that very same question. He said, Norm, do you believe in vampires? And I looked him straight in the eye and I just laughed. And I said, no, I thought it was a ridiculous question. Here's what he said. He said, have you ever had a conversation with somebody and during this conversation, they start sucking the life force out of you? Once you break free, you might feel drained for the rest of your day. You just had an encounter with an energy vampire.
Yeah.
The reason why I believe... Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, I think those do exist, but go ahead.
The reason why I think it's relevant is because there's more energy vampires right now than ever before. I mean, we're at like the epitome of like what's, as far as people trying to suck the life out of the people, energy vampires are really interesting. Energy vampires go after people who they believe have the most energy because they don't believe they can create their own energy. So they're therefore after everybody else's energy. And so, unfortunately, the reason why we're dealing with all this, I believe, is because energy vampires are at an all-time high. Just the way I perceive it to be. And I just wanted to explain why that's happening, why there's so many energy vampires right now that are happening. It has to do with projection. So here's how it goes.
But quickly though.
Sure. You can't love or hate something about another person unless it mirrors or reflects to you something that you either love or hate about yourself. So that's where we're at right now.
That's pretty deep, man. Very good words to leave us off with, man. Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you for taking my call.
Yeah, that was good. I like that. That piece at the end, that was very good. That is 100% correct. That's the law of attraction, ain't it? Now, I got a little bit of breaking news. Shout out to the caller. Great call. But breaking news, TikTok has been banned. Well, not really. Let me show you what happened. So this is my story that I just put on Instagram. I added that piece up there about Trump to the rescue. That piece in the black I added. But this is what you're going to get if you go on TikTok. So look, it says, sorry, TikTok isn't available right now. A law banning TikTok has been enacted in the U.S. Unfortunately, that means you can't use TikTok for now. We are fortunate that President Trump has indicated that he will work with us on a solution to reinstate TikTok once he takes office. Please stay tuned. So basically, this little piece right here, it is like over the screens. When you open up TikTok, you'll see a video in the background, but above it, it'll be this notice. And you can't use the app. It'll tell you to learn more. So a different website, something like that about what's going on, or close the app. So millions upon millions of Americans are seeing the message right now. And what's going to happen? Trump's going to be the guy to come to the rescue unless Biden does something specifically to save them tomorrow. He only has, you only got one more day now. You got 1 day because Trump is inaugurated Monday. Biden has 1 more day to fix this. And if he doesn't, it's going to be up to Trump. Can you imagine if Trump saved TikTok? How many Gen Zs and whatnot are going to just like MAGA hat Republicans? Maybe not quite like that, but you understand what I'm saying. This is really big. They named President Trump right here. This is really big. It's really important. I know a lot of you guys do not use TikTok. I'm not a big TikTok guy myself. 170 million Americans, however, do use it. This is going to be big. Keep an eye on it. So as of right now, TikTok has been banned. But what it is, like I said in my video, this is TikTok taking themselves offline. The United States has not blocked them. The United States can only enforce a quote unquote ban by having Apple, Google, etc. take them off the App Store, not serving the app, things of this nature. This right here is 100% ByteDance is doing. Also, ByteDance is kind of engaging in a little bit of a war because ByteDance owns other apps like CapCut. Those apps are also offline. Although nobody said they're going to ban CapCut, ByteDance is like, all right, you want to play? We're going to take all our apps. All right. So that's happening right now. Breaking news. That's happening right now. And hey, if you got kids and they be on TikTok a lot, prepare for some crying. Hey, prepare for some crying going on in your household. But anyway, let's keep on going. 419, you don't lie. Who am I speaking to?
All right. Hello. Okay, I turned it off. Mr. Logan, how are you today? This is Jesse Mendez.
Oh, well, man, how about yourself?
Well, hanging in there. So you guys were talking about the fires that Ivan was on. I was reading, or I saw something a couple days ago about a fire chief was talking about how when that area of the Palisade was built, they shortcut their firefighting system. That area needs 2-inch fire hydrants. It has 1.5 inches because of the size of the houses. They're, big mansions, big buildings. Let's see, they're too far apart. They're more than 1,000 feet apart between fire hydrants. They're not big enough. They would have helped with saving a bunch of houses if the reservoir had been filled, but they weren't going to be able to stop the fire because of the wind. They could have slowed it down. They could have saved a lot more than what they did, but it goes beyond DEI because this is stuff that an inspector should have caught. This is something that in the blueprints should have been caught, and it wasn't. I mean, I don't know if you've heard of that or not.
About what?
About how that area was put together as far as their firefighting system, their fire hydrants. It was not up to specifications, from what I understand. So it would have helped, but it wouldn't have totally put the fires out.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, you got to do other things aside from just having water in the reservoir. I mean, like just like you said, building the area up properly with the fire hydrants where it's supposed to be, having water in the reservoir, clearing the brush, getting prepared for fire season.
All those things.
All those things. All of them work together. You're right.
All that stuff. It's piling more matches onto the pile before you light it.
Exactly.
So that so it's more than one thing. So we can't say, oh, it's just DEI. We can't say it's just mismanagement. It's a lot of corruption, in my opinion. Like everybody has one of those, right?
Right, of course.
But that was, I just wanted to, bring that to your attention that, that's probably something that's going to come out here sooner or later about how it wasn't up to par. None of the water firefighting system was up to par up in those hills. And that's going to hurt a lot of people.
Right.
Because you're talking about mansions that are huge buildings. You're going to put a fire out in a huge building with an 1.5-inch hose.
Right.
Well, that was just all I wanted to say tonight. Glad you're on. Love listening to your show. Don't always, anyways. Have a good night.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Good call. And the phone lines are jumping. 405, hit on line. Who am I speaking to?
Darren, how you doing?
Oh, well, man. How about yourself?
Pretty good. You kind of referenced some of the good old days when you first started, and I've been listening to you since then. And I remember when people try to sneak in some nasty stuff to you. It's improved a lot. But I had something I didn't know if you might have thought about. Almost every college student now was in between the ages of 10 and 15 years old when Trump was first elected. At the same time, these same students are claiming how violent and what type of Nazis Trump supporters are, but how many of them have even heard that how the Democrats burned Washington, D.C. when Trump was first inaugurated?
They probably haven't heard much of anything. They don't really know a lot. All they know is what maybe their parents tell them, maybe what they see. Like they have a curated view of what the world is. So they really don't know too much. So, you know, the whole thing about Antifa, Black Lives Matter, they don't know anything about that.
Yeah, I just think it's kind of odd that they don't bring it up. At least you'd think that even maybe Fox might have brought that back up, or even reporting how the business owners now in Washington, D.C., now they're prepared. They're boarding stuff up. It's hard as heck to find plywood to try to save their windows. But hopefully we don't have what's called the day of tears and violence coming Monday. Hopefully it's just straight tears. But
that'd be
I
perfect.
just wanted to bring that up about the average college student now was 10 years old when all they're hearing is they don't know the truth, just like you said. But I'll let you get to another caller. Appreciate you taking the call.
Thanks for the call. Definitely appreciate it. All right. Shout out to the caller. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. The number to call 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. 215 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello, ABL. How's it going?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
Okay, so quick question. You're not hearing any echo in the background, are you?
You good?
Okay, so ABL, did you hear about the BLM Patrice, one of the BLM co-founders? What was her name? Patrice something?
Colors.
Oh yeah. Did you hear her home got burned down in the California wildfires?
I saw that, but I thought that might have been fake. I haven't seen any verified sources to prove that.
Yeah, that's what I said. I heard about it and saw. That's why I came to ask you, because I didn't see any like verified sources either. So I was going to try to look more deep into that.
Yeah, that's probably fake. Like if that was a true thing, it'd definitely be all over Fox News. They'd be the first ones on it. But I've only seen that like on social media and nowhere else.
Yeah, same thing. So I didn't really like take it into consideration that much. So I just was like, because like you said, same thing. If I'd seen it on Fox News, News Nations, all the like conservative networks, then we would have known that was true.
Right.
And another thing, ABL, I know somebody who's like running a YouTube channel. They're starting off with like a little channel, and I told him, in a sense, like, and she wanted to start talking about the Israel-Palestine conflict. I said, okay, but so when she get people that like disagree with her, she'll just automatically start calling them Zionists, calling them names, and getting smart with them, like trying to argue with them. It's like, there's people. I'm like, first of all, mind you, they're sending her super chats. They're giving her the super chats, like $20 a super chat, and she's like, you know what? It's kind of sad, and getting smart with an argumentative with them. It's kind of sad that you have to send a super chat just to say that. I was like, so I tried to give her some advice. And I was like, them people expressing their First Amendment right, and they're like, you know what I mean? It's like, you shouldn't really like get combative with them, argumentative with them just because they disagree with you. It's not like they're being outright disrespectful, but she was like, as my channel, in my opinion. But I was like, she had the don't tell me how to run my channel attitude. So I was like, just fall back. I just decided to stay away.
Yeah, people don't listen.
Let
you can't. If people don't want to listen, you can't do nothing with them. Like I try to tell people the same thing about their channel. I try to tell them how to run it, how to do things, and they do whatever they want to do. Like I don't got 1 million subscribers. I don't know nothing. They do what they want to do. So yeah, if people don't really ask for my opinion, I don't give it because I don't want to give it to somebody that's ungrateful, not trying to hear my information that can really help them.
Yeah, that's why I decided. I just decided to shut up, and I was like,
yeah, you got it.
Do you?
Yeah, you got it. Go ahead.
Have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like at the end of the day, I'm like, they are sending you money and supporting you, but they just disagree with you on a little certain things. And I was just like, I can see if they were in a chat and that's something, but if they're sending you money, it's like, because the way I look at it, like, why would you be ungrateful to people that's sending you money?
But see, people,
But
you
like you
can't,
said,
you can't
you
even
believe
really, you can't even really make,
Go ahead.
you can't even really rationalize it because they are going to do what they're going to do. So you could send them money, you could do whatever, it don't matter. If they got in their mind that they know everything and you know nothing, it doesn't really matter how you approach them. They're going to do what they're going to do regardless. People like that, I let them just live, do their own thing, and I do my own thing.
Yeah, you're definitely right. Yeah. So yeah, I was like, yep, I'm gonna just let her rock out with her channel and her opinion. And one more thing I wanted to say, ABL, about the California wildfires. When I saw it started in 5 different places, and it just spread like that. Because when I thought it was just a regular wildfire until I heard Los Angeles was on fire. I said, wait a minute. Then I knew it had to be really bad when it reached Los Angeles, because that never happened before when it reached Los Angeles like that.
Yeah, it was kind of just a really big fire, so it just continued to spread past the canyon areas on down to LA proper.
And now Gavin Newsom, do you really think Gavin Newsom is going to try to run for president? Honestly, I just want to ask your opinion.
I mean, he should. I'm not saying I want him. I'm not saying I'm going to vote for him, but I'm saying if the Democratic Party are smart, they will run him, because truthfully, they don't have anybody else better than him to run. I mean, Michelle Obama, but she don't want to run. She don't want to do politics no more. She's pretty much, she gonna be doing podcasts when she get divorced from Barack, but that's a different story. But Gavin should be the guy who runs, but I'm not sure he wants to quit being the king of California. He could continue to be the king of California and do that rather than trying to become the president, which is more work. And he can't be as pretty as he wants to be while doing that harder job. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because I kind of like almost laughed a little bit when you said he should. I was like, the way California is looking right now.
But look though, but see, but do you think liberals are smart people?
All right, yeah, you just made a good point. You just definitely made
look
a good
how many
point.
of them voted for Kamala Harris, and Kamala Harris has to be one of the dumbest people to ever be on television. And they still voted for her to the tune of 72 million people. So imagine Gavin Newsom. I mean, is he worse than Kamala? No. Kamala is probably the worst ever, and she still got that many votes. So that tells you where the mind of the American people is.
Yeah, you definitely just re-educated me on that. That's right. Yeah. So yeah. Well, that's all I had for tonight, ABL. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it.
All right, you have a good night.
Shout out to the caller. Yeah, man. I mean, Gavin, listen, I'm not saying I like Gavin. Of course not. I think Gavin is awful, but the liberals don't know nothing. I just showed you the NPC earlier. Misinformation, and I think he's doing very well, and he's doing great. Like, you saw somebody that's suffering from the fire right there in California with the mask on and everything, talking about Gavin's doing very well. Those people, those NPCs, those people that got, like, I'm talking about room temperature at best IQ, they are among us. They really exist. They're really out here and they vote. That's why Kamala got so many votes. That's why Kamala won some states in this country. She shouldn't have won any state in this country, not even in California, but you see, she did. So are they going to do, put a bunch of money behind Gavin and try their luck? That's what they're going to do. 936 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Alex McClellan.
All right, man. What's going on?
Oh, not much. Calling out of Nacogdoches, Texas. I had a few questions on how you think about maybe Trump getting back into office, or what to do with the Second Amendment as far as the Hearing Suppression Act and maybe national reciprocity.
All right, yeah, man. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, first off, dealing with the Hearing Suppression Act, do you think that's something that may be able to get done?
Now, I've not heard about this act. Can you educate me on it?
The Hearing Suppression Act is basically something that will take suppressors off the NFA registry.
Okay, so basically you're able
So,
to get
you know.
those without having to get the tax stamp and things. Like you can probably just get it from the regular gun store now, right?
Yeah, it would just be able to purchase it just like a regular firearm or anything else.
I mean, I like that. I like that. I mean, people, I don't know, maybe they think that if you are able to buy a suppressor, you could commit crimes and nobody would hear you, but that's like movie stuff, right? Normally, if you get a suppressor, you can still hear it. It's just not as jarring as it would be without a suppressor. I think it's a good thing to be able to have that in a regular gun store.
Yeah, correct. I say because in Europe, it's almost required. Like if you go to the UK or some of the other European countries, it's required for hunters to have a suppressor because, you know, as far as noise with your neighbors and just protecting yourself from muzzle blasts and everything else. So,
yeah, I definitely think that's a good idea for sure. And I hope that Trump can push that through.
and then as far as national reciprocity, being able to conceal carry throughout all of the 50 states, you know, it's
I love it. I think it's a good thing. We already have that in some states, between states like Tennessee, Georgia, et cetera. You can have your, and I think here won't even need a permit.
pretty much the entire South, like from Texas to Florida, you know, you can carry, but it's like when you get to your northern states is when it becomes an issue.
Yeah, I think it should be a nationwide
You know,
thing.
there was a story a few years ago with the woman. You know, she was just driving with her kids, and I believe she was in Pennsylvania, and she accidentally made a wrong turn, ended up in New Jersey, got arrested, ended up in jail.
Yeah, I saw that. That was a crazy story, and it's weird because Philly is right across the water from Jersey, so it's easy to kind of go from North Philly, Cherry Hill. It's all like right there. So you definitely need reciprocity. It shouldn't be a thing where you get arrested. You have the paperwork, you got the documentation, but because you go 5 minutes to the east, all of a sudden now you're going to go to prison. I think that's really bad. So it should be a national thing. And the thing about some of these laws is that you're going to have law-abiding citizens following the law, doing the right thing. The criminals don't care about anything. They do whatever they want. They got fully automatic Glocks with the switch. They have all types of stuff. They don't care about reciprocity. They don't care about anything. So I think law-abiding citizens should be given the best ability to protect ourselves and our loved ones the same way the criminals could do whatever they want to do.
Exactly.
Yep. So that's pretty much how I feel about that.
I was just trying to get your opinion on. I said I saw all the callers tonight. I said didn't hear anything about the Second Amendment, so I was hoping with Trump getting back in office, I say this will be a good push that we can get in the Second Amendment community. I say there's a lot of cases waiting to be granted cert in the Supreme Court. So.
Right on, man. Well, thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right.
All right. Shout out to the caller. But yeah, man, hopefully we get these things passed through. That'd be a great thing for us. All right, Skype caller. Who am I speaking to? All right, hold on. Let me see if it's going to go through. Yeah, I think it's not going through. Sorry, boss. I don't know what happened. It just kind of hung up. It didn't do anything. It didn't go anywhere. Let's go. 757 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Mr. Brown.
What's going on?
Do you know anything about LeBron James' hairline and Stephen A. Smith hairline?
Their hairline? What about them?
Yeah. Do you have any hair? Do you have hairline?
No, I don't got
Do
no
you have
hairline.
any stretch marks?
No, I don't got nothing.
Okay. You need to get hairline.
Bro, come on, man. Like, if you're going to troll, do better than that, man. Like, I need some. Come on, man. What you like, 12 years old? This like Xbox 360 days. 971, you're the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is your friend over in Portland, Oregon, Bug versus Windshield. How you doing?
It's all good, man. What's going on with you?
Hey, I just want to say that, folks out here in the West Coast, we are not all liberal. And hopefully that here that the California wildfire is going to wake up people to let them know just the jackassery of the Democrats, and that we can vote conservative for once and stop this craziness that's happening out here.
Yeah, for real. And, I was watching something about California and just left coast in general recently, and they were talking about, well, in the 80s, California was a red state, and Reagan came from California, a great conservative two-time president, Ronald Reagan. So I think you guys on the left coast can go back to that time. But you got so many of these NPCs that have just kind of been, that they have infiltrated and they've duplicated. And they duplicate more NPCs through the K through 12 and college system. So you're fighting up against that. But I think there are quite a few of you guys over there. It's gonna be a rough battle against the NPCs.
Hey, I got to tell you, man, I've been trying to get on your show for a couple of years now, man. So it's amazing. But yeah, I got to tell you that there's a lot of people out here that are struggling against the education system. We're trying to get that changed. I'd like to see cameras that may not be online cameras, but at least CCTV cameras that can show what's happening in child classrooms, that the folks can see, the parents can see what's happening in the classrooms. And another thing I'd like to point out here is, as the Democrats are going to say, you never want to have a crisis go unused. And so that's what we got to use here in the West Coast, these fires, showing the ineptness of everything that's going on here. And hey, we have fires here in Oregon. They're shut down power because this is an extremely wet area, and they have to shut down the power lines to huge portions of Portland. What all they have to do is properly maintain the forestry out here, and that wouldn't happen.
I wonder why they don't do things properly, like maintaining the forestry. Things that seem to be simple to us on the outside. It's like, okay, just maintain the forest. Why do you think they don't do that?
Well, I think it's got to be, to promote the change of the infrastructure into the new the green earth, whatever they want everything to be electric. And, as an electrician, I can tell you right now, the world cannot be powered by electricity. All it takes is one solar flare and we all be effed. Look at Canada back in the late 1980s. Huge chunks of, one solar flare took out huge portions of Canada. You can't have that happen. We need to, bolster our infrastructure instead of destroy our infrastructure. And that's exactly what the liberals are doing. They're trying to tear down our infrastructure so they can create a new world order. They're trying to create a new liberal society, and they're trying to destroy our society on the West Coast.
Well, I mean, that makes sense to me, because if that's their objective, then they're kind of succeeding at it, unfortunately.
Yeah. That's about it, man. Hey, tell you what, man, I'm just actually amazed I actually got through. And brother, like I said, as you know, I've been a fan of yours for a very long time. And God bless everybody. I send prayers to everybody in the California wildfires, whether they're Democrat or Republican. I send prayers to them, and I hope God bless all your listeners, man.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it.
All right, take care.
All right, so shout out to a great caller, Burt versus Windshield. I'm glad you're finally able to get on, man. Thank you for being here with us, part of the community. Really appreciate you, boss. All right, let's do one more. 336 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yes, Rebecca. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
I'm doing good. How can you say that Trump had anything to do with the ceasefire?
Are you asking me that?
Yes.
I mean, I've not spoken about the ceasefire.
I'm trolling, ABL. I'm trolling.
All right, what's going on?
How y'all doing tonight, everybody in the chat? I'm trolling. I can't even do it. I can't even troll right. But I'm just saying, I just want to tell everybody have a good night. Everybody in the chat has been super awesome. Everybody, you are awesome all the time, ABL. So I just wanted to kind of try to troll you for a second and let you know that you are amazing, and thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
Always, baby.
All right, that was a good one. She got me. I didn't know how to answer it at first, so that was a good one. Shout out to her. All right, I think that'll be a wrap. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. Hold on. One more. 770. You're on line. I'm speaking to.
Hello. This is Joni J.
All righty, what's going on?
Hi. Just wanted to call back. I told you I would. It was a little while ago when I was talking about President Trump. I was saying that he is going to be elected, and I told you I'd call back because, do you remember?
Sort of, yes.
Yes. Well, I wanted to follow up on it.
Well, I'm glad you did. And how do you feel that we got Trump back in office?
I'm glad because I felt like it was meant to be. And a lot of people were supporting Governor DeSantis. I understand that. It's a possibility his time may come up. And if it is, and I feel like it'll be, I feel like Trump, it's meant to be. But I feel like it's a possibility that Governor DeSantis' time may come up, and I feel like he'll be as ready as anyone can be. But I feel like this is divinely orchestrated. President Trump needs a lot of prayer because there are some serious attempts that a lot of people don't know to assassinate him, and they are very serious. So we are definitely praying for him. We'll have to continue to pray for him and all of that. He'll need all of that.
Right, absolutely. And no doubt about it.
So anyway, I'm just following up. So I hope that you just have a blessed new year.
Well, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Okay, that'll be a wrap because if I keep taking more calls, I'll be up all night. If you couldn't get on tonight, don't blame me, blame the white man, because it ain't my fault. Y'all know how I do. But thank you for joining. You guys have been the best audience. You guys are the best audience all the time on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoyed what you heard tonight, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. To all the TikTok refugees, never you worry. It's going to be back. You'll be all right for a few hours without TikTok. And look, I'm going to tell you something right now. If you can't survive a day without TikTok, then you're going to have some problems in this world. You're going to have some real problems. Try going a day without food. Try going a day without your freedom. Oh, man, some of y'all not ready for this world, man. I tell you what. Some of y'all not ready for this world. All right. But I'll be back streaming live on Monday, Inauguration Day. And I think by the time the Orange Man comes back, your precious TikTok will come back, but you never know. Biden might do something tomorrow because didn't I tell y'all in my video, didn't I say that they put the date for January 19th, 2025 to make one side make a decision over the other? Didn't I tell y'all that? I said, what's going to happen is they're going to give Biden the opportunity to save it. And if he doesn't, then he'll give it to Trump. Okay. Team Biden, before TikTok did this, and let's be clear, TikTok pulled themselves offline. Before TikTok did this, what happened? Team Biden put out a statement saying that they're not going to enforce the ban come January 19th, tomorrow, Sunday, right before the inauguration, which meant they didn't want TikTok to go away. TikTok is saying, we want something more concrete. Give us legislation or we're not going to come back. They're kind of holding themselves hostage to make the Biden administration give us something concrete that they're not going to ban them. Trump's going to come in and give a 90-day little reprieval or figure out a way to overturn that law that Biden signed. But the Supreme Court upheld the law, so they can't. So ultimately, Trump's going to bring it back, but it's going to be a negotiation process. Will it come back on the first day, the second day? Probably the first day with a 90-day stay. Then they're going to negotiate in the 90 days. And then afterward, it'll come up with a deal. Everything will be fine. That's what's most likely going to happen. But check it out. You might not have your precious little TikToks for a day. But hey, man, you know what? Take this time to enjoy the rest of your life. Or how about this? Or just come to YouTube and watch us. Hang out with us. That's where you should be rather than the TikToks. But anyway, Shout out to y'all. I'll be back probably tomorrow. I need to do some videos tomorrow. The TikTok stuff. I got a lot going on. And then, of course, we got the inauguration on Monday. I'll be live streaming that. Hopefully see you guys there. But shout out to you guys again for watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you're doing. Thank y'all for that. I could not do the show without you. Thank you to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate y'all as well. Shout out to everybody just for joining, doing what you do. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. Now, let me go to the super chats. I'll read these right quick, then I wrap it on up with the bone top. Oh, also, this is an audio streaming podcast you're listening to right now. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether they be Google Play, Apple iTunes, Spotify, etc. Link for that will be in the description. Or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. Alrighty, and let's go to the supers. Then I wrap it on up, put the bone on top. All right, where we at? Shout out to No Excuse Lifestyle Rocky Cage, who says, "What's up, ABL? Sorry I took so long to contribute. It's not me, it's the white man. I remember you said in the video a few years back, no dinner after 1 p.m. I've done the same thing and I lost 70 pounds. Hold on. Hey, man, congratulations to you. Hold on. Who is this? This is No Excuse Lifestyle Rocky Cage. He said he listened to what I told him. Don't eat after 1 p.m. And he's done that, and he's lost 70 pounds. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, you know what? 2025, we got the orange man back. We got our government, back kind of under control a little bit. We're going to get ourselves under control. We're going to get ourselves physically fit. We're going to feel good. We're going to look good. We're going to do all that. We're going to accomplish our goals. We're going to take life by the horns this year, 2025, and every year afterward. That's what we're going to do. So, hey, man, I love to hear you guys call in the show, leave comments talking about the things I said. You listen and you take it into practice. Shout out to you, man. Hey, that right there makes me feel, anytime I get a comment like that to where I can actually impact your life, that's the best compliment ever. Better than $1 million. And I'm not being facetious. I'm being dead serious, because it makes me feel good to know that I was of service to you. So shout out to you, man. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you to Marianne McPherson for your donation. Marianne McPherson also says, love how you say RIP to the headphone users so much with the heart emoji. Thank you for that. Thank you to No Excuse Lifestyle. Rocky Cage says 70 pounds in 1 year. All I mostly drink is water and green tea. Came into a Monday to drain the swamp. Salute ABL. Hey, man, shout out to you. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, man, that green tea, that water, I love it, man. I love it. Thank you, man. That meant right there, that made my whole week right there. Just that one comment right there. Thank you to Tom Air, who says, keep that foot on their woke supremacist neck. Hey, man, got to do it. We're not going nowhere. Hey, I've been here on the YouTube since 2015. I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to be 1,000 years old. I ain't going to be hunched over like Joe Biden, though. I'm going to be 1,000 years old, still delivering the gospel. All right. So that's all I got for tonight. Thank y'all again for being here. I'll be back, of course, really probably tomorrow, because we got TikTok to talk about. We got a lot to talk about tomorrow. Plus, the inauguration is on Monday. I'll be live streaming that. But until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.